Alrighty, let's try it again, shall we? Alrighty, ladles, jelly spoons, baby bells, and gemstones. Welcome to episode 2 of the midweek files right here on LindenTV. I had to think then, my brain's all over the place. We are live, ladies and gents, across the UK and the world, exclusively for you guys, with your second episode of Secrets of the Flight Deck. Yes, my friends, me right here will be sharing with you guys all the secrets that happened of everything you see behind me. And what happens at 39,000 feet. We started this series last week. It was incredibly successful. So I thought, you know what? Why not? Oh, let's go again. So, here we are, my friends. Secrets of the Flight Deck right here on LindenTV. Yeah, it's currently 1 minute past 1 on Thursday, the 6th of November, 2025. Happy Hump Day to everyone for yesterday, which was, of course, Guy Fawkes Night right here in the UK. We'll be talking about Guy Fawkes Night and fireworks later on in the show, because, of course, they can be quite dangerous. Think about it. If you're on the approach to why can I not speak? If you're on the approach to a runway or an airport and you've got fireworks flying off in front of your face, it's never good. Daddy, my boy, welcome back to the show, my man. How are you? How are you, buddy? Don't forget to. There you go. There goes your like. What a legend. How are you, man? Long time no speak. Are you still in Australia? Are you back in the UK now? Where are you, man? I never know where you are. I'm all right, to be fair. Although we have got a health exclusive coming up in tonight's show as well, because next year things could be taking a bit of a down on this channel. More about that coming soon. You're in the UK, bro. Oh, wicked stuff, man. Whereabouts are you? Because you have to come meet up here at some point. Got to have them. But yes, next year it is very likely that the certain current schedule of live streaming might change next year for health reasons. We'll go more in about that later on. But for now, secrets of the flight deck, my friends. Same old Plymouth. We're going to come down and see you. 100%. But yeah, how you been, dude? Long time no see. The OG moderator back on the channel, my friends. There you go. It's a shame because you missed out on a live stream not so long ago where your old friend Mr. C was on the stream as well, which is pretty cool. To everyone else who's watching, thank you very much indeed for joining. Thank you so much indeed. This is a Q&A special. So if you've ever wondered what happened at 39,000 feet or 45,000 feet or even any 1,000 feet up there on the flight deck, let me know. Still in good old Midlands, my friend. Still in the UK for now. Yeah, probably going to be here for a while, unfortunately, due to health reasons, which we'll come on to later on in the show. But yes, don't forget, Danny, as well. You can also join our members-only lounge right now for as little as $2.99 a month. It is gives you exclusive content, discounts, you name it, all there on our members-only lounge right here on your favorite vlogging channel, my friends. So if you've got any questions, anything at all about what it's like on the flight deck of an Airbus A380, a 350, a 320, a 777, or any flight deck of any aircraft, to be fair, drop your questions in the comments. I will do everything I can to, yeah, everything I can to answer your questions. Yeah, man, I'm here. I'm here. Happy days, man. Love to see that. Every new membership is always gratefully received. Just don't forget, as of next year, although our live streaming agenda, that green screens are really bugging me at the moment. Although our live streaming agenda may actually slow down next year, other content will still be available as much as we possibly can. So bear that very much in mind indeed. Rosie, hello to you. And then Meow, hi. How you guys doing? Welcome to the channel. How are you all doing? Love to have you along. Remember, this is a Q&A session. You can ask me any questions you like regarding life on the flight deck. I am affiliated with an airline. I can't show you too much information because I'll probably get done by them. But I can cover that up and just show you crew. There you go. You got the logo. Depends how good you buy the logos, but there we go. Am I okay? Kind of. Yeah. More about that later on in the show. We'll come on to that later on. But yes, stick around, my friend. It'll be good. We're not too bad right now, thank you, Rosie. I appreciate your question. But yeah, any questions you have about flying or anything to do with like being a pilot, first officer, cabin crew, even cabin crew questions, anything you got at all, drop them in the questions or in the comments. That's what we're here for tonight. It's always great fun to answer your questions because sometimes they're quite insightful. So there you go. What are my plans tonight? Speak to you, lovely people, all about aviation. So if that's not your thing, I apologise. But if you want to stay around for a good laugh anyway, please feel free to do so. We are live across the UK and the world. Rosie and Meow, whereabouts are you guys from? It is a solo shift, my friend. Yes, we are doing a Celine Dion tonight, which I'm all by myself. Drinking a can of fizzy drink. Other brands are available. But yes, got to be very careful now. We're monetized about copywriting, about trademarking, all this kind of malarkey. We have to be ultra careful. But yes, it is a solo shift. We are all on my own. Doing a Celine Dion, my friends. Not quite in the ways a lot of you might expect because that's just dirty. But there we go. Oh, so yeah, whack your questions in the comments. Let's see what you guys come up with. Let's see if you can come up with a question that I can't answer. That'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? That could be interesting. But yeah. Combat says, what's up, man? Not a lot right now, my friend. But like I said, we'll come on to the health situation later on in the show. Where's the two sidekicks? And I've got one. The two sidekicks. What, Connor? I think he's at home because he's got work tomorrow. Cameron is at home in Wales. And 80, God knows. Let's see a question, bro. Far away. If it's can you vape on the flight deck, the answer is no. Well, actually, no, technically can do in the staff quarters, but there you go. There's an insight that you guys didn't know. We can actually vape on the flight deck. Let's see your question, Danny boy. For those of you who don't know, Danny is the OG moderator of this channel. He's been with LindenTV now for well over 18 months. Always great to have him on the show. Let's see his question. Come on, lad. Come on, lad. Let's go. Don't forget, guys, you can also send super chats, super likes, and super stickers so your comments stick out and help support the channel at the same time. Wicked stuff. Dude, that's not about flying. What are you chatting about? Why is an apple called an apple? Why is up, up, and why is down, down, and a pleasure? Dude, an apple's called an apple because that's what the English called it. Well, that's what the world called it. Up just makes sense because you're up and down. Yeah. Anyway, try and keep the questions topical, yeah? That's what we're here for tonight. Trust you all the time. Why is flying called flying then? Fuck my life. Do you know what? I don't actually know the answer to that question. I think it is purely because you're in the air. That's the only explanation I can give you. I don't actually know the answer to that question in any way, shape, or form. Cheers, mate. I appreciate you for that one. Nice one, bro. But I don't actually know why. Maybe because birds fly. I don't know, but no idea. That's a bit more of a topical green screen for tonight, isn't it? I like that one. Yeah, I don't know why it's called flying. Trust you. Trust you. If you could fly any plane, what would it be? Ooh, probably would be the A380 to be fair, just because it's big, powerful, and incredibly noisy when we're coming to land. So yeah, that's probably what I'll go for. When was the first airline approved? Danny, you're asking me questions I've got no idea. Salsa, yeah, boy. We are back on the flight deck, ladies and gents, in my own happy place. Um, I'd like to fly an A10. Oh, you want to go for military aircraft as opposed to civilian? Yeah, no, mine would definitely be the Big Daddy. If I could fly anything, I'd have to be the Big Daddy A380, 110%. Gracie, hello, my love. Welcome. Why have you not got a moderator thing on your thing for? Have you got a new account? There you go, darling. Welcome back, sweet cheeks. How are you? Lovely to have you back. Look at that. Look. Our original moderators, Gracie and Danny, back on the show. I love that. Um, I've never seen an A10, so I don't actually know. Danny's like, oi, oi, oi. This is a throwback to like like late last year. Love it. When of course, remember this time last year we were actually preparing to go to Turkey. We were going to go back this year, but the hotel actually cancelled my booking, which is really annoying. Simply because the day after I was supposed to arrive, they were closing for 6 months to do refurbishment of the hotel. I'm like, great, so I'm going to go all that way for a day. And then what, just camp outside for like 9 days? No. So it needs to it's been pushed back. Where did I stay in Turkey? We stayed at the TUI Magic Life in Masmavi in Antalya. It's very, very nice. You ever go to Ibiza? No. No. I was when doing the first part of training, we were doing like obviously short haul flights and stuff. So we did a lot of like internal flights within the UK. Well, I say internal. That also goes to like Ireland, etc. But yes, did a lot of internal flights, and then you go slightly further afield to the likes of mainland Spain, Portugal. We did go to Madeira, Greece, France. The flight to Bucharest. That was interesting. That was a very interesting approach. But no, never actually been to Ibiza. Um, I'm glad you're good, Gracie, and I'm good too. Thank you very much. Nice to have you back. Look at that, look, the dream team back together. Of course, ladies and gents, if you are brand new, please do smash that like button, hit subscribe, come and join us right here on the channel. It's all good fun. What about the party? No, I've never, ever, ever like fancied going to Ibiza. To be fair, it's never really appealed to me. So I'd rather go party in this country, like in London or Manchester, Liverpool, Glasgow, Essex, um, Brighton, Bournemouth, all them sort of places. So yeah, the idea of Ibiza, nah, you're right, thank you. Up the pun. What you on about, dude? What are you chatting about, bro? No idea. But yes, folks, if you've got any questions about aviation, that is all good. You do a toll and let subs vote where you go. What, tonight? We ain't going nowhere tonight because I'm a skin. But later on next year, we will be doing the LTV holiday, whereby we should be visiting, as things currently stand, we'll be going to obviously the UK, the USA, Germany, Australia, and at the moment, India. But we may also be going to Australia, to South Africa. Vim, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing? So yeah, we'll be going to the top 5 analytics geographically on the channel. Currently, they are the 5 top analytics. So as things stand, we will be going to Australia, India, Aus- uh, Australia, India, United States, Germany, and the UK. How you do a flipping holiday in the UK, the country you live in, I've no idea. But it'll probably be like a little tour of the UK first. Then from that, we'd then obviously go to the States, States to Australia, Australia to India, India to Germany. That'd be awesome. Um, I know who you are now. There you go. How are you, beautiful? Ladies and gents, Vim has been made a moderator because he's my partner in London. Everyone say hello to him, please. How you doing, fella? Great to have you along. I'm all right, thank you. I'm okay. Not too bad. Knackered after a bloody long day, but I'm all good. I am all good. That's not Michael Jackson. However, his first name is Michael, and from London. But Michael Jackson is very much dead, as you should know. My name, I know your name's, I know your name's Vim. Obviously, I know who you are. Like you literally told me on Snapchat like minutes before you came on a live stream what's going on. So it's all good. Don't forget though, like and subscribe, please, people. It's always great to have you guys along. All right, Treacle. Call me a Wally. All right, okay. I see how it is. You can see who wears the trousers in this relationship, can't you, folks? And it's definitely not me. There we go. Happy days. So yes, folks. You're Wally. Yeah, I know. Great. Cool. The fact that Wally's been spelled incorrectly is completely neither here or there, but there we go. Wally spelled with an A, but there we go. This is not an English lesson. It is a Q&A of the secrets from the flight deck, my friends. So if you've got any questions you want to ask in any way, shape, or form, loving that approach as well, actually. It looks like we're going straight into Detroit or Michigan, possibly. So yes, my partner. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look, grammar police. No, English police. If it's grammar, I'll be like, well, yo, where's your commas? Where's your full stops? Where's your capital letters? Come on, people. But yeah, he lives in the great city of London, which is quite handy because, of course, as you know, we're in London a lot. But yeah, generally, looking at that approach path, I would be inclined to say that plane is literally about to land in either Detroit, maybe Texas. But it looks good. Oh, I'd love to. I would absolutely love to, darling. Don't you worry about that at all. So, questions for anything to do with aviation or flying, that'd be absolutely amazing. All right, Danny. You're all right, mate. All right, all right. Chill your beans, Treacle. For those who don't know, of course, Danny is our OG moderator. Been with us now for well over a year. Great to have you back on the show, buddy. I will be coming on a live at some point in the great part of England. That's London. You will be, yes. Need to make that happen. That'd be quite cool. I'm also waiting to see how long it takes for the old builder to up behind me and try and go, you're wanted. I'm like, go on in. Arrest me, dickhead. Which happened literally overnight. Quite funny. Also waiting to see how long it takes for your cameo presenter, Mr. AD, to either drop a message or try and call me when yet again we're doing a live stream. He seems to do it all the time recently. He'll try and ring. And I'm like, dude, get off the fucking phone, please. Like, go away. But yeah. Do you get a police approach you much then? They go in drips and drabs, you know, quite often. I can go months without having any interactions with them at all. And then out of nowhere, they'll just be on me consistently. There you go. Prime example from Danny. They love me. They do. Literally. They just love to nick me. My birthday weekend being a prime example. So I got a message on the Thursday saying like there's a warrant out for your arrest and all this kind of bullshit. So I rang this company. I'm like, listen, I don't believe this for a second. And they're like, no. Legitimately, like, you're wanted. I'm like, what for? And they're like, failing to appear in court. And I was like, well, where's my letter? It's never come through. And I've even checked through all my posts for like the last 6 months. Nothing there to say I had a court appearance. So I was like, well, that's inconvenient because I'm going on holiday tomorrow. And they're like, no, you're not. What do you mean, no, I'm not? Well, if you try and leave the country, as soon as they flag your passport, you're screwed. So literally, I had to then go straight ring my probation office because I was also probation. They were useless. They were like, to go to the police station. So I had to hot foot to the police station, go and speak to them and be like, look, apparently I'm wanted. put my name through the system. They're like, yeah, you are. And I was in the court the next day, and I ran down with hey ho. But yeah, it was good fun. Uh, but there was a time when you took them 6 cows, 2 chickens, 4 snakes, and 1 marvin. The hell are you talking about, bro? I have never taken cows. 6 cows, 2 chickens, 4 snakes. I don't know where you're going there. I love Alien Cat. Hello to you. How you doing? What was in it? What was it for in the end? If you want to say, it was literally because I'd breached probation and hadn't done the unpaid work that they gave me 2 years earlier. When I got done in court for yeah, I got done in court for stealing my own car. Worked that one out. Uh, I think someone has left their landing lights on. I mean, you'd want their landing lights on for the simple reason that that aircraft is very clearly coming into land. Because if that's on a takeoff, that's a very worrying angle of descent or angle of ascent on a takeoff. Like if you're taking off like that, you've got problems. That's what I'm saying. So I'm hoping that would be a very beautiful approach into the States. I'm still trying to work out what airport. I'm pretty sure that is Detroit, but there we go. Uh, am I a pilot? I was, yes, up until November last year when I was medically discharged. Hence why you can ask me any questions you like about life on the flight deck. You need to turn around then. Why? What's behind me? There's literally nothing there. Okay. But no, that is a very beautiful approach into Detroit, I think. I'm sure that's Detroit. Oh, you mean. Yeah, you're funny. I've just got what you're saying. Um, where have I been to country wise? I've been to Australia, the Dominican Republic, Los Angeles. So yeah, Australia, Dominican Republic, Los Angeles, Turkey, Thailand, Singapore, uh, where else have we been to? France, Belgium, Poland. I think that's it to be fair. But yeah, there we go. You're flying the plane, you're vaping. Well, we're actually not on the plane right now, are we? Because if that was still flying, I'd want to know why it was being held in one place. Dominican Republic sounds like a good one. See, for me, that's long haul 9 hours though. See, even from the UK, it's just what 7.5, about 7.5, 8 hour flight from Gatwick, and yeah, and that's obviously directly from Gatwick to Punta Cana in the Dominican, and then a nice hour-and-a-half bus transfer. That was a ball ache. Um, to my result, which was very, very nice. All good though. All but through Thomas Cook back in the good old days when they were a thing. So if you remember Thomas Cook Airlines, you're probably about as old as I am. Although they only went bust like 6 years ago, I think. Yeah. So if you're over the age of six, you remember. Um, yeah, it was 9 hours, 9 hours 15 there, and then 8 hours. Oh Jesus, that's mad. There you go. Whereabouts in the Dominican did you go to? That's crazy. Sure, we went there, so like a 7.5 hour flight, but it was still crazy. Maybe it was longer, but if oh, there we go. Who did you fly with? That'll be an interesting one. I know for a fact you didn't fly with the airline that I used to work for because they don't fly there, which is kind of strange. So you went with TUI. Nice. And of course, who were TUI originally? Thomas Cook. And there you go. Obviously, Britannia got bought out by EasyJet, and Thomas Cook was bought out by TUI. There you go. Useless information for you guys. There you are. Information from the flight deck. There we go. What are you beeping for? Thomas Cook would be turning in his grave, the mess they made of it. My first flight to Malta, you could smoke on it. Jesus Christ. That must have been quite a while ago. I'm guessing you're from Liverpool as well, but going by your name. I'm still flying, but I should be retiring too soon. Oh, no. I should actually fly for TUI. Nice, dude. Wicked stuff. So, yeah, I'm right in thinking that obviously Thomas Cook was bought out by TUI. Is that right? Is that correct? 1992, that was. Yeah, I mean, it's mad to think that back in the day you could literally smoke on aircraft. Like if you go onto any Concorde that's either stationed at Heathrow or in any museum, you go and sit in the seats, and you'll all find there's an ashtray on each and every seat, which is mental. To think that back in the day you could actually smoke on board those aircraft, because that's literally asking for trouble. Like the amount of smoke that would have been in that cabin as well, or going through like the filtration systems, the air conditioning, etc., etc. It must have been absolute shite. Yeah, so realistically, not something I'd like to do. I actually feel putting the car on a lot too long ago. Nicely done, man. Ashtrays are on coaches too. That is very true. Yeah, I'm not too sure they are so much nowadays, because I think when I've got the Malala's got a coach with what National Express from Liverpool to London, and I don't recall there being any ashtrays on that one. No, it wasn't. It was National Express, Liverpool to London, and then London to Margate. That was the longest 18 hours of my life. I'm pretty sure National Express don't have them on board anymore. I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing one. But if they do, and they do the whole like you can't smoke on board, it's kind of like, well, why? I've got an ashtray. Why can't I smoke? Like, what are you doing? Obviously, aircraft nowadays you can't smoke on board, even in the toilets, due to the very sensitive smoke detection systems. And if you are caught smoking, you will be facing a hefty fine when you get to your destination. And in the same way, you're likely to be ejected from the aircraft, probably in the midst of either security and or police, which is never a nice way to start your holiday. So don't smoke. Do not smoke. Pretty smooth flight, but turbulence was a problem. Was that mostly over the Atlantic Ocean? Because 9 times out of 10, that's normally where you get the main part of your turbulence and stuff. That's why I hate doing transatlantic flights. I mean, it's bad enough if you're flying over like mainland Europe and that sort of stuff, but I do find the actual turbulence going across the Atlantic is horrific. No, not now. Good old 20th century. You go on the top of a bus, then come down with bronchitis. Good old smoky days. Do you know what I find really weird though? If you go to London, right, and this is absolute gospel truth, you go to London on like an open top bus, they'll turn around and tell you you can't smoke on the top deck. So I'm outside. Why the fuck can I not smoke on the top deck, outside, in the fresh air, when there's like one, maybe two people up there? Because the weird thing is, they won't let you smoke, but they'll allow you to vape, and I don't understand the difference. It's kind of like, well, okay, you might just flick your fag over the side, but there you go. Holy shit, this is AI. No way, this is a real human. If you think that, crack on, but you're wrong. If you think it's AI, then why is one? Why am I reading out your comment? Two, if you don't think I'm real, then maybe you should go and check out every single video on the channel. Because funny enough, it'll have the same person. You get some proper weirdos in the world, don't you? But yeah, Hassan, lovely to welcome you to the channel, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. And Kalen, whereabouts are you from, buddy? Just when I'm flying, I have to put on a big voice. My English has to be perfect. I mean, you're not wrong. You look like Barry from Chuckle Vision. I used to love that show, but then it also means that I'm dead, because Barry Chuckle died not so long ago. So, Caelan's from London. Nicely done, bro. Happy days. Here's one for you. I went to Kefalonia this year, and they had sealed bags of weed next to the counter. Any weed you wanted. Seriously? That's pretty. What in the airport? That's pretty mad. Or just in shops in general. That's crazy. There you go. If you want some weed, then folks, you know where to go. Not that we're promoting that on this channel in any way, shape, or form, but there we go. In the supermarket, that is actually mental. That is actually crazy. The best thing about flying long hauls, you get to stay there overnight. You do indeed, or if you're really lucky, you get to stay there for like 2 or 3 days, which is quite cool. I know in my airline, when I was flying, we used to get probably 36 to 48 hour layover. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you got 72 hours. That's pretty cool. Hassan, is that a green screen? Well, obviously, we're not actually on the flight deck right now, are we? But as it's secret of the flight deck, it makes more sense to have a green screen of a flight deck than fuck all. Um, but yeah, well done. Nicely recognised, dude. Bro, are you a pilot? Not anymore. No, I was up until November last year when I got diagnosed with a brain disorder that prevented me from flying. Which is a shame because it was a bloody good job. I was a trainee first officer for national airline, and then yeah, obviously got diagnosed with this, brain disorder last year, and that was the end of my training and the end of my career. But we learnt a lot. No, so sorry to hear about that, bro. No, I appreciate you, man. So I got diagnosed with a thing called neurological dysfunction. No, sorry, functioning neurological disorder. So basically, that means my brain mimics strokes. Yeah, so like I was out with a friend of mine who's also the co-P of this channel. Um, we were out together, and just my head started feeling really heavy. I was like, "Dude, you're gonna have to drive us home. Like, I can't do it." Pulled over. The whole of my left side went completely numb. Couldn't move anything. Tried to walk. Tried to talk. Couldn't do nothing. He took one look at me and was like, "He's having a stroke." Straight to hospital, and they do all their tests, etc., scans, all that kind of malarkey, and they were like, "No stroke there, dude, but you've got all the classic symptoms of a stroke," and they diagnosed with that. So of course, my airline found out about that, and they were like, "End of the road for you, pal." And I was 4 months away, 4 months away from qualifying on the A350, so I was gutted. So that was goodbye to the commercial pilot's license. That was goodbye to any form of commercial flying. That was goodbye to my private pilot's license. That's been suspended for 20 years. So apparently, if I have no further like hospitalizations due to that, I can have that back in 20 years' time. But then there's been like 4 or 5 since. So as a result, game over. So yeah, we won't be flying ever again. I can fly as a passenger, but I'm not allowed to obviously be in charge of the aircraft due to the fact that something happens at 35, 36, 37,000 feet. It could be too late by the time you get on the floor. Because, of course, as we know, diverting to other airports and stuff, yep, it can happen. But you still got a good 20 minutes, sometimes half an hour flight onto the tarmac, at which point you could be fucked. Where are you in the world now? I am in England, Rocco. Whereabouts are you from, buddy? To be fair, I think being a pilot is great, but it took me a while to pass. It does take a long time. I'm not going to lie to you. I was going through the academy for my airline. I'm not going to mention the airline's name for obvious reasons. But I went through the academy, so they put me through my private pilots, and then obviously the commercial and airline pilots licenses, all that kind of malarkey. And first of all, signed off on the A320. Crappy little shitty fucking thing. Not a fan of them in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, it was on them for a while. Went for the A350, and that's when disaster struck. So there we go. The brain is crazy. I suffer from neuropathic pain in back and legs. I had to retire from the railway 2 years ago. Started when I was 35. I'm now 54. Mate, that is horrific. Bloody hell. Unfortunately, it's shit in it. It is absolute shit. But hopefully you're doing better now, my friend. Fingers crossed you are. Don't forget, guys, if you are brand new, please do like and subscribe. It's a pleasure to have you guys along. And Rocco is in England too, buddy. I am in Manchester. We're in Manchester, literally what? A month? About a month ago. Yeah, 17th of October. There we go. Uh, I'm going to be so real. My worst flight was from Jamaica, or sorry, to Jamaica from Gatwick. It was such a bad flight. Do you know what my worst flight was? The flight home from Turkey last year. Um, Literally, we took off. I think we came back on the 27th. We flew back on the 27th of November, um, just when Storm Bert was hitting the UK. Now, it was pretty traumatic and like turbulent leaving Turkey in the first place. That was bad enough. And then literally, like, I mean, the aircraft was being blown across the runway, right? You could literally feel it being blown like this down the runway. It was pretty mental. Took off, no issues, everything was fine. Um, Bit of turbulence and stuff going over like Bulgaria, Romania, etc., etc. And then we came across like Italy into France. Like it was pretty okay. And as soon as we came across northern France into the channel, or over the channel to then link around to Birmingham, that is when it became proper windy. And as we were landing, like on the final, literally on final approach to the runway, like and I mean, like we were like probably 30, 40 foot above the runway, massive gust of wind through like the aircraft to like, I don't know, a 15-degree angle. You can guarantee there was a wind shear warning on the flight deck. And then he literally came down like crosswind landing, bounced on the runway, skidded a little bit, and it was just like, fuck. How the hell he didn't do a toga, I have no idea. It was crazy. But he done it, got it down, and boom, there we go. Yeah, I had a slip disc and failed surgery syndrome. Oh, dude, that sounds horrific. May I ask what you were doing in Manchester? Yeah, man, we came up to visit the Trafford Centre, and also to visit the Mardi Gras, which is rated second best out of all the spoons in the country on our 24,000 spoons challenge video, which is on this channel. And then from there went to Media City before coming home. Wirral goes, you, Rocco Murphy, nice to see a fellow spud. I'm confused. No idea what you guys. I know Murphy is a type of potato, but I'm pretty confused. No idea on that one. Kind of weird, I hate both from the northwest as well. It's pretty sick. There we go. Awesome. To be fair, I was actually in Manchester in June when myself and your co-P we flew the 747 from we flew the 747 from Manchester to London and back, and then we then flew from, well, I had to do an emergency landing then from a little disused airbase in Japan before landing into Pattaya, which was terrifying. Rocco lives 10 minutes away from Media City, so you're a Salford boy. Happy days, man. That's great. Wicked stuff. Anywhere near, like, I'm trying to think now. What the hell's that long road called? Not Lancaster Road, there's another one. It literally connects like Buell Hill Park at the very top, and at the very bottom, you've got like the entrance to Media City, and I cannot remember for the life of me what the road's called. But yeah, Buell Hill Park, mental, crazy. See, I do like Dominican Punta Cana International Airport. It was a good one. It's just a very small place, and landing was tight. It isn't. I mean, you wouldn't want to flight land anything major there, really, would you? Like that would be a bit horrific. But at the same time, it's normally a pretty okay approach, especially coming like the over Haiti first, and then into the Dominican. If you're coming in like over the ocean and coming on that approach, can be a bit hairy depending on like weather conditions and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty mental. Old Trafford to be precise, next to the Man United Stadium. Oh, you're that side. Cool. So yeah, like in the Hume area, Trafford Park, all that kind of shit. Nicely done. As you can tell, I know Manchester very well. I lived in Manchester for about 18 months. Loved it. Over there in Salford 6. Rack it off the Salford boys. Happy days. Great stuff. Well, next time we're out there, mate, you never know. We might let you know. And Maybe do a meet and greet. That'd be sick. Of course, for our 24 Hours and Spoons challenge, we visited the Moon Underwater on Deansgate. We then went to the Mardi Gras. We went to the Fulwell in Liverpool. Less about that, the better. Um, then to the White House in Leicester. The Redwell in Wellingborough. We won't even go about that one. The Moon Underwater in Milton Keynes. That was day one. And then day two, we did um, the Catherine Moore in Henley, the Moon Underwater at Leicester Square in London, the Mechanical Elephant in Thanet, and then finished off at the world's largest spoons, the Royal Victoria Pavilion in Ramsgate. There we go. Yeah, that's it. So where are you now? Or don't you want to disclose? So we're in the Midlands, in the county that Nigel Farage said is basically stuck in the 1970s. And you know what? That guy's not wrong. Like, this area is shite. And Kaylin says, my mate is a pilot for Jet2, but they're like smaller flights. So he still has much to experience. Weirdly enough, that flight back from Turkey, even well, actually saying that the flight to Turkey and the flight back from Turkey was with Jet2. And as we all know, nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. Did you see anything strange when flying? No, no. You can see why people think there could be, but yeah, no, never saw nothing strange. However, to see a shooting star from the flight deck is, any of these guys will tell you, absolutely amazing. Kaylin says, but he's at Stansted. Oh, nice one. I flew from Birmingham. So that's, there we go. Lewis, as you can see, our member from this channel goes Easy Geese. How you doing, buddy? Remember, guys, you guys can also join this channel as a member. They start from $2.99 a month for your economy class, $4.99 for business class, and then $12.99 a month for your flight deck experience, which gives you discount on merch, etc., and that comes live next year. So, if you want to join the channel, make sure you do so. For the time being, you can like and subscribe, and of course, you can buy a membership. Send a super chat, super like, or a super sticker right here on this channel. Flying is great. It's such an experience. It is indeed. But do you fly Boeings or Airbus, just out of interest? Because of course they are mightily different. I found especially trying to land the 747 and having a real yoke as opposed to a side stick was weird. Like, it was a very, very different situation to be part of. And it's kind of like, you know how much movement to like make on the side stick, etc., left, right, up, down, etc., to get you like, you know, your rates and everything else completely right. But to then try and adjust that to the yoke was a completely different experience. So yeah, it was very difficult to try and differentiate between the two. Obviously, autopilot all works the same way. Just push your buttons and stuff on the control panel, twiddle a few knobs, get your heading and stuff in the right direction, push your TLV button and or your nav button, and away you go. I once flew, and the pilot introduced himself over audio. He was called John Snowball. My daughter found it hilarious when he would say it over the system. I can understand why, to be fair. Ladies and gentlemen, is your captain speaking. I'm John Snowball on the flight deck. You're like, I hope you're not playing snowballs in the flight deck, but okay, buddy, you carry on. About 1994, I worked in Northumberland, and I saw this thing about 2 football pitches wide. It took about 20 minutes going over, going over at a walking speed. If we made it, it would have dropped out of the sky and no noise. That is mad. Very strange. Did you find out what it was? Very weird. But no, I must admit, I used to enjoy doing the whole like announcements and stuff to the cabin. You know, like cabin crew, prepare doors for takeoff, or cabin crew, take seats for takeoff, doors to auto, and then like, you know, when you're landing and you taxi into the gate, cabin crew, please set doors to manual, and all this kind of malarkey. You know, I've been doing the whole like, ladies and gentlemen, is your captain, or is your first officer speaking? Welcome aboard this flight from London Heathrow to wherever. we're gonna be in the flight. We'll be in the air for X number of hours. We expect this sort of weather, blah 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 blah, and the weather on your approach is going to be X, Y, and Z. Um, in the meantime, ladies and gents, please do remain seated with your seatbelts fastened and your seat back in the upright position with your tray table la, 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 your tray table neatly stowed away for take. We'll speak to you again once we're airborne, and all this kind of malarkey. Um, Clearly went out of the system way too long because I'm getting tongue tied, but there you go. Have you ever flown to Samui? Well, Koh Samui in Thailand? No. I have been there as a tourist though. A beautiful island, absolutely gorgeous. Assuming you mean the same place. If not, then I know I haven't. I can tell you that for definite. I've never been there. Not a place I recognise at all. I've not been on a plane for years. My dog suffers from separation anxiety. Oh, so we travel in the UK with the dog. Went to Devon in July. Oh, nice, cool. But no, I've never actually flown. I haven't flown to Koh Samui at all. Obviously, I flew to Thailand into what's it called? Sagagani, whatever the bloody hell it's called. Bangkok International, basically. You know what I mean. Good old BKK. Landed in there as a passenger and obviously flying as well. Um, it's quite simple in the A350. It pretty much does it all for you, so it's quite nice. Um, but yeah, it's never actually flown. Then obviously from there we then got like a coach trip down to the ferry port, ferry across, and then jobs are good in basically, which is kind of mad. So sorry I can't hear much as my background is so loud right now. Lol. Oh, sorry. Um, you can feel vibrations through you. I was just in awe, to be honest. There was something in the local paper a few days later about something crashed Corbridge rails, or something crashed at rail station, but just flew up to the sky. That is actually crazy. See, it's like I met my wife flying, so I'm really glad I chose that path. Oh, fair play to you, man. Happy days. Congratulations. Not gonna lie, there's sort of stuff that happens on the flight deck in the crew section when you're on a double crew or a long haul flight, for example. Kind of things that happen there, or when you're on a layover hotel. Like I don't know if it's the same for TUI, but for my airline especially, we got to choose our own cabin crew. So quite often you get accustomed to the ones you liked, and you'll be like, "Yep, I love them, I love them, I love them, I love them," and it'd be quite cool because if you were on a turbulent like landing or a turbulent flight, or whatever, some of the passengers, as we know, get very very nervous in that situation, and it was great because the cabin crew were like, "It's fine, like we know the crew really well, like they can get us through this. It's all gonna be fine. Don't worry about anything, blah blah blah," and you're like, yeah, that's why we have you. That's why you get the perks when we're at the hotel. If you get my drift, you know what I'm talking about. You know what happens. Um, Something the size of two football pitches just flew up and no one's seeing it is crazy. That is very, very true. Do you believe in other life out there? That's a tough one. Potentially. I mean, I don't believe for a second we're the only ones. Put it that way. We spoke when we got off it was a moment I had never felt. I can imagine. That is crazy. Um, and it was about 3 a.m. Where I was living, it was in the sticks. A pub, a post office, and a few houses. Again, that's pretty mad. I'm not going to lie to you. I've liked and subscribed. I appreciate you, fella. Nicely done, buddy. Thank you, Rocco. Nicely done, dude. Just out of interest, is my OG moderator, Mr. Danny Streetwise, are you still here, man? Or have you disappeared? Gracie, are you still with me, or have you gone away as well? But yeah, guys, I'm loving this. I'm nice having a nice little airline chat tonight. This is pretty cool. Loving that stuff. So but yeah, so with TUI, do you get to choose your own stuff, like cabin crew wise and that sort of stuff? Do you get to choose your own cabin manager and have the people on there that you really want, or does that not happen? Uh, do you have thoughts on the afterlife and what's happened, or is the cycle stopped at death? Now, without going too deeply into stuff, right? Um, I do believe there is something in the afterlife because I lost a brother many years ago, and I swear to God, he still visits me even now. Like, I could be in my house sometimes on my own and this sort of stuff, and could just be like cooking in the kitchen or whatever, and I will just smell his aftershave, or like I got like model planes on my ceiling, um, like held up by string and this sort of stuff. And all the windows can be closed, but no reason for them to start rocking, and they'll just start spinning and rocking and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, all right, Sam, I can stop being a dickhead now, and then they'll just stop dead. And I'm like, yeah, okay then. There's proof if ever I needed it. Um, I believe in reincarnation. I mean, to be fair, I would agree with you. To be fair, there's got to be something because obviously when you get like deja vu and stuff, it's like, I've never been in before in my life, and yet it feels really familiar, which is crazy. But no, Caden says no one thought. Oh, you guys don't get to choose your crew. Oh, we do. Like when we got our rotors and stuff, we can turn around and be like, yo, cool. Like if possible, we want these people, or we like make sure we put these people onto our next flight, etc., etc. And 9 times out of 10 they listen, which is pretty cool. I believe in afterlife too. We have to be optimistic about death. I mean, I've always turned around and said, to be fair, um, I'm not scared of dying, but I don't want to be there when it happens. Yeah. So, for example, I don't want to be walking down the street and get knifed, for example, or stabbed or shot or something. Yeah. Whereas I'd quite happily like go in my sleep, or weirdly in a plane accident, right, in a plane crash, because you won't know about it. It's that quick happens. You're just like gone. So it's very nice and quick and simple, done there and then, perfect. You can apply. You can apply for your crew. Yeah, I mean, we would just turn around and be like, yo, like, obviously on a layover and stuff, you're almost guaranteed to get the same crew back anyway. Or you turn around and be like, look, keep them out here a bit longer. We want to take these guys home with us because they're amazing on the way out here. And then normally the reserve crew that you have to like potentially go back with, the airline will be like, right, you guys can go on this flight back, and you guys go back with them people, and it was just continuation, familiarity. It was all good. So it's very very nice. I've had weird things happen to me. I used to be a chef in a nursing home. Um, I left, then went back, and strange things happened, as if some residents were happy to see me. That, yeah, I can believe that sort of thing, because there are often occasions where you go somewhere and you be like, this feels weird. By the way, thank you for saying sorry about my brother. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that a lot. I've got a Yamaha, proper good bike. No, 1000cc. Come on, lad. I thought you were just sending me kisses. I was going to go, you little, that's a bit cute, isn't it? Very nice. But yeah, no. Psychic crimes. How's the meth in the UK? Similar to the States? I have no idea because I've never tried either. Um, may I ask if you were an 80s child? No, more of a 90s kid, to be fair, my friend. So, yeah. Hang on. I grew up in the 90s. So, what does that make me? This one, 39. So, you do the maths. And it's maths, by the way, for any of our American speakers. Not math, maths. I was born in 86 and grew up in the 90s. There you go. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you grew up in the 90s, that makes you a 90s kid. Yeah, I don't give a like. Again, obviously, if you're born in the 90s, you are a 90s kid as well. But realistically, if you grew up in the 90s and you experienced the 90s, which in my opinion was the 90s and the noughties were probably the best decades going. Like we didn't have social media, people were still people. People should have respect, manners, all the stuff you'd expect from normal everyday life. Nothing like what it is for kids today. And we actually had this thing called respect. Yeah, and you know, millennials, us guys, we're a dying breed. Like we are the last people to grow up without social media, without all like the cyberbullying and all that kind of bullshit. For example, we'd go home and then like get out of our school uniform, get changed into our normal clothes, and then actually like walk out of our houses knock on our mate's door and go, yo, coming out. And then obviously wait for the street light to come on before going, yo, home. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was the we're the best generation. If you feel your bro is with you, he has not left you. I lost mum in 2012 and I feel her with me all the time. She always said I was a part of her as she gave birth to me. I mean, there you go. That's very point. 90s was the best ever. Take me back. World's gone to shite. You are not wrong. Um, this generation is terrible. Again, you are very true. You look like a late 90s grindcore singer from rough and tumble Birmingham, a la Lemmy Killmeister. No idea who that is. You could leave front door open all day, bike outside the shop, dogs roam free, kids play outside. What a life! You are very true. Or the ice cream man will come along with his music playing, and you get told he's got no ice cream. There's no point chasing after it. Fuck off, mother. Whatever. We know you're blagging shit because you go to grandma's and suddenly, oh look, ice cream man turns up, music's playing. Do you want an ice cream, kids? Oh, but he's not got none, nan. Oh yes, he has. And then mysteriously goes out, comes back like 10 minutes later, spends a fiver, and you've all got ice cream. Nowadays, a five will get you one if you're lucky. And don't even get me started on the price of food on board aircraft. Unbelievable how much they can charge for stuff for food on an airplane. You're like, are you actually fucking crazy? Yeah, nah, 70s and 80s, pal. Out all day, home when it's dark. The street lights were our alarm clock for home. Exactly. Or your mother stood at the front door going, get in, your tea's ready, or your dinner's ready, or your lunch is ready. And you were like, cool. Like, and then thing is, back in those days, like, for example, kids did not backchat their parents. Yeah? Like, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but if I was ever out somewhere and I was misbehaving and being a little bastard, all my parents had to do was give me the look. Like that look of, and you're like, I need to stop. Because if I don't stop, when I get home, I'm getting like the backhander, you know what I'm saying? So literally, it was actually mental. Actually mental. Um, what's like another job you would be interested in? So obviously, I now do YouTube. Um, but weirdly, I've considered recently thinking about training to be a coach driver. And that sounds weird, but it's still kind of travel related. You're still in control of a pretty hefty vehicle. Okay, you're not doing the same speed as an airplane, of course you're not. But there you go. Um, but yeah, you know Motorhead. That's the UK's greatest musical export, man. Lemmy Kilmister, singer for Motorhead. Oh, okay. I've never actually paid much attention, but there we go. Did you ever used to kick the streetlights out as kids? I'm gonna let you to a secret here, right? When I was growing up, where I grew up was in the middle of nowhere, right? So, in all fairness, um, didn't have streetlights, so we had to rely on my mum going, "Get in! It's like it's time for your bath." Like she should embarrass me. Like, come on, it's time for your bath. And you're like, it's 7 o'clock. Great. Cheers, mum. I'm now really embarrassed in front of all my friends. Nice one. Cheers, bitch. Um, you wouldn't dare call her a bitch though, would you? Oh my god. The one time I did that, she literally washed my mouth out with washing up liquid. It's horrific. Um, but yeah, the look, honestly, like you could be in a crowded room of people, like at I don't know, a family get together or a wedding or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I never went. I didn't go to a funeral until I was 12, but literally, you would just get like that glance, and you're like, I need to stop because otherwise, I'm a dead man when I get home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a good job to be fair though. Yeah, I mean, definitely, absolutely. If my dream came true, I would have had to rely on the army. I mean, that could have been cool. The army's never a bad job. Never a bad job at all. Uh, couldn't reach the lights. Used to pull the wires out, but because my bros had ginger hair, we would be caught um, around the estate the next morning. Oh, that's never good, is it? I mean, to be fair, your co-presenter um, in his house, like before he moved into like a different bedroom, His bedroom literally used to be right at the front of the house, and right outside his house was a street light. And he was like, it used to burn through my window 24/7. So he literally like reached out his window, like undone the light, grabbed and just like smashed the bulb, and then did it back up again. They didn't replace it for like well years because it's still very much out now. And I'm like, you legend. I was like, do you want to come around my house and do the same thing? And he goes, well, no, because you don't have a window or a light right outside your window. I'm like, no, but it's right slap bang outside my fucking front room window. Does for nothing. But yeah, crazy stuff. Um, but no, it was a very different time back then. Like back in the 80s, 90s, and noughties. Literally, like we knew how to behave. Didn't mean we were naughty. We weren't naughty. Of course we were naughty. Like literally. Brayden, how you doing, brother? Cam was literally saying the other day how we've not seen you for ages. Welcome to the show, my man. How did you like the flight to Australia? Where did you land? So, I was 12 the first time I flew to Australia, and we went Heathrow to what was then the Bangkok in the middle of a field, like long before it became what it is now. Like it was a much smaller airport, and then obviously refueled, and then went on from there to Kingsford Smith. Um, yeah, Kingsford Smith International, which is I love it. What an amazing approach. As soon as you're coming in over the harbour, so like at the left hand side of the aircraft, you've got like the harbour bridge, the Opera House, Centre Point Tower, and then just coming in, and you're like, "Yo, we're flying over the highway. We're landing on the highway. Like, what the hell's going on?" Like the runway's literally straight overhead. You're like, "This is sick. Love it." Um, but no, absolutely beautiful. And then also on the way back, went from weirdly we flew from Canberra to Sydney. Obviously, Canberra wasn't an international airport back then either. So it's Canberra to Sydney, and then got on the Woonalla Dreamin', like the big Aborigine Qantas 747, beautifully decorated aircraft. So we went from Sydney to Melbourne, Melbourne, Singapore, Singapore home, and we actually had like I actually have a birthday in the sky. So my birthday ended up being like 38 hours because of the like time differences and stuff. And despite it being my longest ever birthday, like I literally turned 13 in the sky, and then got taken up to the flight deck, got to meet the pilots and all this sort of stuff, and I was just like, oh, this is amazing. Um, and yeah, literally from that point, I was like, there we go, this is life. Literally, like this is gonna be my life, and it took a while to get there, but there we go. Because back then, my cousin who lives in Australia, he wanted to fly for what was then Air 2000. Um, Wicked, absolutely like yeah, it was so cool. But he actually went to like work in the family business over there, didn't go flying. And then when I became a flight crew, he was like, dude, you always said you'd do that, mate. And I'm like, I know, we did it. We did it for the national carrier. Come on, loved it. Wirral says, yeah, the don't embarrass me look. Um, that you will behave look. That don't you dare look, or the you better eat all of that look. Haha. All of them fucking looks. It was like Morse code. It literally was, and we knew what they all meant. Like literally, if you're like in a restaurant, for example, or you're out with like the rest of the family, and you're not sat with your parents, you've gone to like your nan's house, and the adults are on one table, the kids are on another table, or like whatever, or you're sat on the floor, for example, if they're like sat in the front room, and like you're eating stuff, and they know damn well there's stuff on your plate you don't like, yeah. But a member of the family's cooked it or whatever, and they're really proud and all this sort of stuff, and everyone's eating the same shit. That's the other thing. Everyone ate the same stuff back then. Not nowadays, where like kids are going, I don't like that, mum. Like we were told, don't know. There's kids dying in Africa for that food, so have it. Eat. You'll get what you're given. None of this picking and choosing malarkey like we have nowadays. Absolutely crazy. My mates got pissed in Greece and went to a fairground while shitting unscrewed. and unscrewed all the light bulbs on the fair ride. Oh, that must have been pretty crazy. Oh, well, the light shut. My apologies. Because you do your streams later now, so I'm mostly asleep now. I'm sorry, mate. I love making the announcement. I mean, to be fair, so do I, to be fair. MOD, who's the football player in the pick? Is it Arsenal? It is, yes. Thierry Henry. Rock, and yes, I'm a big Arsenal fan. Yeah, come on, big up the Gooners. I'm so used to saying ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you have to, don't you? I mean, I'm not being funny. I think even if I was to do an announcement now, I'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight date, this is your first officer, Kenji speaking. Welcome aboard this flight from London Heathrow to JFK. We expect to arrive within the next 9 hours, 36 minutes. We've got a nice tailwind, and flight conditions seem to be amazing. Although we left London and it was a stupid 7 degrees, by the time we get to New York, it's going to be a nice 14. From myself and the captain on the flight deck, thank you for choosing us this afternoon. We wish you a very safe and enjoyable flight. Please do now sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. And while we taxi to the runway, can you watch a member of cabin crew for a short health and safety demonstration? I'll speak to you again whilst we're able. Yeah. I mean, it is instant, ladies and gentlemen, all the time. And they're always going, I'm not either. Well, fucking jump out the door then. Like, do us all a favour. Grab a parachute. Fuck off. Anyway, Mod. Henri was amazing. Bergkamp was the best I've seen in an Arsenal shirt. Invincible, what a team. Ken's, where's Cam tonight? He's not on. He was, I mean, to be fair, we are running a lot late. I was supposed to be leaving my sister's after a very long day, but things just went shit. So I think he's probably asleep, to be fair, or talking to Maru, or both. And also telling the time in the country and the weather. I'm so used to saying it now. Exactly, literally. And then Wirral. Dude, Wirral, what's your actual name, man? We'll call you by your actual name. If we went to Manans, the looks were in stereo. Exactly. Like, I'm not being, I'm not being funny. You'd also notice, right? And you'd look around the place as well, yeah? I don't say for you. But if we're ever at like family gatherings and stuff, right? You can always go, like, you always had your favourite cousin that you chill out with when you do stuff with and like have fun with and this sort of shit, right? So you guys would be doing your own little thing. And then you'd look across the room because you both knew what you were doing was completely wrong. Whether it's like, nicking drinks off tables or whatever, yeah. And then literally your auntie would give your cousin the look. At exactly the same time your mother is giving you the look, and you're both like, we're in shit. Like, stop. We're in trouble. And you both standing like, I'm not doing nothing. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely mental. That's facts there, Rocco. Do you support Arsenal or another team? I think you'll probably find Rocco probably supports United. I'm not going to lie to you because he lives not far away from the United ground, as we found out earlier on. My name is Den. Lovely to meet you, buddy. Well, and I'm guessing you are from Liverpool, so more than welcome to the channel. Lovely to have you along. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's always amazing. Love to have you guys along. It's all good fun. But yeah, pretty sure Rocco would be a United supporter. Do I like the boxing? No, not really. Like, do you know what? I used to like boxing up until March this year. Yeah, when a mate of mine took part in like a charity boxing match type thing. Yeah, and honestly, like he won the first 2 rounds, absolutely amazing. The third round, he literally got fucked. Yeah, and we were like, like I was fresh out of hospital, so I was on crutches. Still quite unable to like walk and all this sort of shit. And then literally, like, I was just stood there going, I can't believe this shit's happening. Like, what the fuck's going on? Mental. By the way, your mod is called Braden. So yeah, was at the game when the 49 game record come to an end at OT. Rooney 2-0. I love United versus Arsenal battles. I mean, they're always good, to be fair. Not gonna lie to you. I do boxing. Do you actually, Braden? I didn't know that. Not Liverpool. You heard the song Ferry Across the Mersey? Oh, yeah, from Jerry and the Pacemakers. Well, you have to get that to where I live, so over the water from Liverpool. So you're, let's get this right now. Are you Birkenhead? Is that right? I'm probably wrong. If I am, I do apologise. I love that brain as like United joke. I was a baby when we lost 8-2 at Old Trafford. I mean, you're still a baby now, to be fair, mate. You're still pretty young, in it, to be fair. Ferry across the Mersey. Da, 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 bum, bum, bum. Got Conor Ben and Eubank fight on the 15th. Gonna be a big fight. So I thought you meant Conor, like the co-ped, and I was like, no, he's definitely fighting at the end of the month. But okay. As far as I know, unless that's changed, it could have all changed. I have no idea. He's not mentioned it for a long time, so maybe he's not doing it now. Who knows? We will find out, I suppose. But yeah. So, Den, are you from Birken? Check me out. Yeah, Birkenhead, or as we call it, Birken Vegas, the town that never sleeps. That's mad. I mean, to be fair, before going to Liverpool in June this year, um, I've been there once before, and to be fair, I was pleasantly surprised. Like Albert Docks all really nice and that sort of thing. And I know we stayed way out of like the city centre because the person I was seeing was like wanted to be like proper discreet and all this kind of shit. So he stayed at a hotel well out the way of the city, but it was pretty mad, pretty mad. So there we go. My favourite boxer, you all can say that I'm going for best, but I use the alley skills when I'm in the ring. I shuffle, then throw a hit. Go for you, man. Go for it. Knock the bastard out. I have a mate who boxes um, live in C5 for Eddie Hearn. Only a journeyman through. Hang on. Only a journeyman, though, called Stephen Jackson, been to two Hatton fights, and most recently went to Joe Joyce at the AO Arena in Manchester. Nice. Hey, oh, let's go. How do you actually act people on YouTube? I barely use it. So realistically, just put the at symbol, type the name, and away you go. Me and my dad were planning something so within the next year we can do the LTB Heathrow meetup. That'd be wicked, man. Absolutely awesome. Well up for that one. Um, Heathrow Airport runs for the time being are going to be quite scarce due to financial issues because I didn't get paid for those 2 weeks. I'm well pissed off. But your next live stream from Heathrow will be on the 19th of this month. So keep that in your diary. We'll be at Heathrow all day on the 19th, which is a Wednesday. So a nice midweek show. Pretty awesome. The Wirral is quite nice. Well, the left side is. Quite a few Liverpool players live there in Cowley. So very expensive properties. I live in the middle of the Wirral. Well, check you out, dude. Very nice. Isn't Birkenhead where Paul O'Grady came from as well? What a legend of a guy he was. Absolutely, I love that geezer. For those of you who don't know, in a past life, before flying and before YouTube, I did work for, or was contracted to ITV, and actually met the legend that is Paul O'Grady at the studios in London. What a lovely guy. Just walked down the corridors talking to him, just like he's a normal everyday geezer. And you know what? He's just as lovely, just as funny, and just as brash and just as rude in real life as he is on telly and on radio. Absolutely amazing. Um, in my opinion, I've always thought prime Mike Tyson was the beast. Unstoppable he was. You're not wrong, to be fair. You're not wrong. Good old Mike Tyson. Oh, Hassan's like, nope. Prince Nassim. Hassan, I didn't realise you were still here, man, but welcome. I'm glad you're still on the channel, man. Nicely done. Yeah, he did. My mother's side are from Birkenhead. I mean, he was a legend, wasn't he? What a geezer. Absolutely love watching him. I love watching him on TV. Loved listening to him on weirdly on Radio 2 on a Sunday afternoon because his show was just hysterical. It didn't matter what sort of day you're having, whack that on at like what 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and you'd be crying, literally crying because it was funny, so funny. Um, no Prince can sing compared to Mike. Can't be touched. Um, I'm 14, but still look back because old is gold and new is poo. Come on, lad. I was in Liverpool not long ago with the daughter. Went to Sefton Park. Really nice it was. I think I've been there actually. Pretty sure. He will dance around him. Okay. Hmm. So, folks, this is Secrets from the Flight Deck. Any more questions you want to ask any of us who have flown, whether that be myself, whether that be Kalen, and yeah, let's see where we can go. Prince Nassim hasn't knocked out no one first round like he used to. There we go. So let's try and bring it back to a little bit of topical, shall we, stuff, because obviously we are supposed to be here talking about aviation and flying. And if you want to talk about your favourite aircraft or your favourite flight or anything like that, that'd be amazing. Um, Surprised you didn't spit on Anfield, eh, Rocco? I mean, to be fair, Braden, I took my little brother there. Like when I lived in Manchester, they came up and stayed with me for like 8 weeks, and one of my brothers was a United supporter, so of course took him to Trafford several times, and his twin was a Liverpool supporter, and he was like, "Oh, you taken him to Old Trafford like 4 times. Why can't I go to Anfield?" I'm like, "'Cause it's in Liverpool. Like, I don't particularly want to park up and lose my wheels. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it." And I was like, "Do you know what? Okay, I'll take you, but I'll take Mum's car." Yeah. So we took him over there, and I'm not joking. All the side streets and stuff around the Anfield Stadium, you'd honestly thought there'd been a riot going on. Like, I parked the car and I was like, "Stay close. Do not talk." Because I'm pretty sure as soon as they hear that we are both from London, one or two things are going to happen. We're either going to get our heads kicked in, or they're going to like think we're royalty or some shit and like be ultra nice to us, be terrified we're going to batter the shit out of them. I was like, just don't talk, literally. Um, I'm not from Liverpool. Uh, I could walk to Liverpool. If I could walk to Liverpool, I would drown. Let's not do that. In my youth, it's something I would have considered. Though, my cousins is Chelsea, Newcastle, Arsenal, Tottenham, Everton, Liverpool, and Man United. There we go. Right old flipping. You literally got rivalry there, anyhow. Um, the thing is, Prince Nassim is only known for dancing around the ring where Mike was feared. He was dangerous in that ring. Didn't he bite someone's ear or something, if I remember rightly? I'm not gonna lie. Poor cousin who supports Everton. Well, quite clearly they do. You know what I mean? That's like saying who supports Man City. You know. Um, and yet weirdly, like I know someone that did. So there we go. Anyway, let's try and bring things back to our topic for the evening, please, ladles and jelly spoons. You absolute legends that you are. Try and keep it aviation based. Let's try and keep on topic, and let's stop going on about everything else. Who is here? You say? Who's here? I don't know. Who is there? I'd support Everton if Arsenal didn't exist. Well, luckily Arsenal do, because I'm not being funny, as we all know. There's my key. Right, that's my front door key. So there we go. Love it. Big up the Gooners. My favourite aircraft is a 747-8. Oh, come on. The absolute biggest queen of the skies. I believe Lufthansa still fly them, to be fair. Yeah, absolutely. Have you always liked planes? I have, mate. Yes, I've actually like been involved with. Well, my old man, way back when, as far back as I can remember, so like from the age of 5 or 6, taken to the Farnborough Air Show because he worked for Pratt and Whitney. So always had like stands and stuff there. So always taken me, and ever since then I've just been like, yeah, literally like that's what I want to do. And then from the very first time flying, I was like, come on, let's do it. And yeah, just literally pursued my dream, and boom, there we go. Um, I mean, the one thing I didn't like was obviously like all the mathematics and stuff that goes into like working out. Can we keep it away from football, please, guys? Work like doing all the maths and stuff on the flight decks. You're working out like the weight of your passengers, your luggage, your cargo, all this sort of stuff. How much fuel you're going to need, the weight, or the weight of the aircraft, passengers, flights, uh, all your luggage, cargo, all that sort of thing. Working out with that how long your flight is, what altitude you're going to be at, what weather conditions you've got, and how much fuel you're going to need, just to make sure you got enough, obviously for the flight. That sort of thing was bullshit. But then when we come to like obviously making sure you're setting for the right heading or that sort of malarkey, then literally that's all got to be good. Um, so isn't there a new Concorde to be released in 2029? Now I've heard rumors about this. Now the thing is, I don't know how true that actually is because I'm not being funny. If there was gonna be a new Concorde, why not just replenish and bring back into the surface the ones that are already there, tried and tested? You know they work, all bar what? One incident with that Air France flight, which obviously grounded and obviously ultimately like suspended the entire fleet anyway. Bring them back. I mean, there's one at Heathrow Airport literally staring over the runway at runway 27. Yeah. So it's sat there. It's not doing anything. The engines and stuff still work because they do still fire them up from time to time. So realistically, why can't we use it? Just bring it back. It's I know for a fact dotted around Heathrow Airport, they still have got the simulators and stuff like the training simulators for Concorde. Bring them back. Use them. Train people. Bring it back. Let it fire up the runway again. Why not? Why can't we go from Heathrow back to like New York in 3.5 hours? Come on, it's not really hard, is it? It'd be nice because I never got a chance to see one. I mean, to be fair, you hear them before you see them. Like that sonic boom, especially on re-entry or like when they're obviously like literally like down thrusting and stuff before like final approach to the runway. Oh my god. Like the noise was deafening. It would be quite cool. They were the beat of the sky. They were indeed. And weirdly, what used to be the Concorde terminal at Heathrow, annoyingly, is now the Emirates Air Cargo. But it wouldn't be hard to change it. Yeah, I think it's pretty long. My last flight, my plane got delayed at Gatwick for at least a good hour. I was panicking so bad. I mean, delays are never fun, are they? Like, because you always know you can have that one Karen that goes, "I've got a connecting flight." Really? What? When the airport you're flying to has got no more flights due out today because I know the time we're going to arrive there and all this sort of malarkey, but you've got a connecting flight tonight you must catch, and this what hour delay is going to destroy you? Shut up, woman. Um, yeah, the Son of Concorde. I don't understand why they didn't update the Concorde. Funny how we had the money in 1969 to build them, yet now every country is skint. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, just look at how the world is. My nan said when she lived in London, and even when they were high up, it sounded like it was low and was so loud. And she remembers it was set car alarms off and burglar alarms off due to the vibration. I mean, they did. Concorde was an absolute monster. I mean, you got to think it's the only aircraft in like civil aviation history that actually has like the afterburners and stuff like a military jet. It was absolutely insane. And I'm proud to say my grandfather was actually like on the design team for the engines for that very aircraft. So yeah, what a feat of engineering! Absolutely amazing. Exactly. Would would they rather the hour of trying to see what's wrong with the plane, or if there's anything wrong, or leave the airport and something bad happens. I mean, I think a lot of them just want to get on the airplane and go. Like, and it's even worse when like you boarded the aircraft, all the doors are locked and like shut, etc., etc. Everyone's taking their seats like for takeoff, etc., or for, they're taking their seats when it's taxi to the runway, and then you always get like obviously on pushback is when obviously we disconnect from the APU or they disconnect from the GPU or the ground power unit, and of course on pushback is when you then fire up the engines, right, properly, and of course that's when you could then find there's a problem, yeah, and if there is a problem, you're gonna radio, you're gonna contact your ground crew or your ground control or whatever, and we're like, yo, we're not taking this aircraft because there's a fault or something, blah blah blah, right? So of course you then go back to the gate, and then you can just hear everyone going, oh, I'm sorry, like we've had a message to say like the de-icing system's not working, or I don't know, there's like a filtration system, or like something's wrong with the engine or whatever. Yeah. So in theory, it's safer for us to like go back to the gate, get maintenance over, see what was going on. You know what I mean? Wasn't it the only supersonic aircraft? I believe so. When it comes to yeah, I believe that's true. When it comes to commercial aircraft. What's your views on Manchester Airport charging £5 for people being dropped off and picked up? I think it's disgusting. In the same way, like £7.50 at Stansted, or £6 if you go. Is it £8? I think now for Heathrow. It's like, why? Why is it going to cost so much money? Like, I mean, to be fair, if I'm now taking someone to like Terminal 5, for example, I'll say to them, look, okay, I'll drop you at the Thistle so I can actually say goodbye to you and all this sort of malarkey. Then you can go in the Thistle, buy a ticket for the pod, and get the pod directly to Terminal 5 for like £8. It's the same price, but realistically, that's a return trip then. So it's £4 there, £4 back, and you can get picked up and like dropped off both ways. Happy days. Everyone's a winner. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, I think it's absolutely crazy how they do it. I mean, obviously Stansted is like £7.50, but they've also got the hours like pay and display car park, which is always helpful as well. Gatwick, you've got the 2 hour paying the 2 hour free parking. However, if you go over that 2 hours, it's then a £30 charge, as I found out to my peril. So it is absolutely mental. They don't understand how stressful it is. Absolutely. It's like the railway in the Victorian times where they didn't. Where did they afford it? Yet nowadays, to get HS2, it would have bankrupted us. Well, it's mad, isn't it? Um, and yeah, it wasn't ever a chance. I never flew on it either, to be fair. John Lennon charged £3 for drop off. I don't understand why they do. Like, what has happened to the world of just like dropping people off for free? Why are we now charging stupid amounts of money? Like, it's getting as bad as fucking. You may in this day and age, you may as well drop someone off at the hospital and go right, get a cab to the airport because it'll end up being cheaper. And let's face it, hospital parking's scandalous as it is. Scandalous. Used to fly from John Lennon they before they'd done that direct from Manchester to Amsterdam. All very nice. The only commercial aircraft to reach 1,000 miles an hour and get to America within 2 hours, and France in 15. I know. Who'd have thought it? Yeah, France in 15 minutes. Like, for starters, why would you want to go to France in 15 minutes anyway? It is crazy, absolutely crazy. They just use the public as a cash cow. They do. They literally do. And they do it for motorists as well, because let's face it, like this is what gets me right about Sadiq Khan. Now, I don't like the guy anyway. I think he's an absolute lemon, and I really don't think he should even be mayor of London. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to put my neck on the line right here, right now, on a live stream on YouTube, and probably get cancelled for saying it. Right? How can they charge, like for example, me, £12.50 to take my diesel engine into London, right? Or even to Heathrow, yeah, for their ultra low emission zone, right? And yet we've got an A380 or a 747 or an A350 coming in and out of there all day, every day, and yet the amount of emissions they produce, they're not being charged for the ULEZ zone. How does that work? Like, literally, what? What? Sorry? Sadiq? Fuck off. Yeah. Wait for the budget end of the month. All taxes are going up. Yeah, I can't wait for that one. Only problem is windows were so small, the size of a phone. I believe they're actually slightly bigger than that. I'm not going to lie to you. Why did the Concorde go? All because of the Air France crash that happened on takeoff in Paris, I believe. That was when the whole fleet was grounded and ultimately stopped. Yeah, they were smaller than the average aircraft windows, but the fuselage itself was obviously a lot smaller anyway. So yeah, I think in comparison to like the actual size of the aircraft, they pretty much were the right size, to be fair. Rocco, they were, because they had many things go wrong with the mechanism. They think the average person is going to ram their cars in terminals. Oh, don't get me on that fucker Sadiq. I mean, yeah, hate him. They tried it here with the fresh air zone. Andy Byrne. They didn't. Yeah. Do you know what? I visited Manchester once. It was like, clean air. The clean air zone was suspended, and I'm thinking, I love coming to Manchester. Like, don't you dare bring in a clear air zone here. I mean, Birmingham has one, but it's only part of Birmingham, and it's not completely clear where that part of Birmingham is until you've gone through it and get the letter through the fucking door going, oh, you gone through the clip. You polluted. Fuck off. Okay, I polluted the city. Have you seen the streets? Have you seen how they've not been swept in like 20 years? And you're going to moan at me because I polluted your air? Fuck off. Like, every bloody street corner in Birmingham, you've got some absolute geriatric flipping skaghead, like, injecting Christ knows what into their body, smoking fuck knows what into the air, but I'm polluting your city. Do one. Literally. Like, what is the matter with you? Like, literally get a grip. But we see other aircraft cars, for example, the 747, yet we never got rid of them. But one crash from the Concorde, and they said cheerio. I know, it was really sad. Literally really sad. MPs are dragging this country down to a very shitty low, honestly. You're not wrong. Birmingham is rough. And the third world. I mean, I was not going to pass comment. It's that third world, though, right? Honestly, I'm going to say this to you right here, right now. We tried to do a live stream from Birmingham Airport once, right? I say try, because you go to the viewing area of their so-called car park number 5 at Birmingham Airport. You go to that viewing area and you try and get decent enough signal to do a live stream. You then got to stand halfway in the fucking car park where you can't even see the runway just to get signal. And you try and stand around the perimeter fence of that. Nah, they're like, can you move along, please? No, I can't, as it happens. Why? I'm filming. All right, go away. Mental. Most of the UK has gone to the dogs. It has, literally. And I think, not being funny, Sadiq needs to clear off out of office straight away. Starmer needs to do exactly the same thing. Like, he needs to go. Not just out of office, out of the country would be nice. Let's get Nigel. Get Nigel and his people in, because I guarantee he'll get rid of the clean air zone, because he knows how many people don't pay it. Like, it must be costing me a fortune in solicitors and this sort of stuff, because the amount of letters I get through the door, and I'm like, I'm in London 4, 5, 6 times a week sometimes. What, you think I'm going to pay £12.50 a day? With no discount, because I'm not a resident, so I can't get resident discount or nothing like that. I mean, you can fuck off. Go away. Right, I've got school in the morning, so I'm popping off, so have a good stream. Braden, I appreciate you, man. Take care, my man, and look after yourself. Always a pleasure. We have 20 mile an hour all over the place. I drive in the third gear, so pollution will be highest. We've had cars now for 140 years, and no one can cross the road or use the crossing available. Yeah, literally. I mean, you're not wrong. You are not. I mean, I can't say those last 2 words because I'll get so badly told off by YouTube. But oh, look at that, Rocco. Good night, mod. But yeah, honestly, like, I don't get it. I literally don't get it. You know, I mean, how can they say that like my car is polluting the area of like, for example, going to London, yeah. So as soon as I come off the M25 and I'm going through the streets of London, my car's polluting the air, right? Bear in mind I'm going past an international airport. Make that make sense, right? So it's polluting the air allegedly, but when I pay my £12.50, suddenly it's okay to drive through the city of London. Right. So what you're telling me, all the time I'm lining your silk lined pockets, Mr. Sadiq Khan, it's okay for me to drive my 2 litre diesel through the streets of London, yeah? Because it was registered before 2015, right? But if I then buy a 2015 model on the same engine for the same car, you're then telling me it's suddenly clean without paying £12.50. Whereas an A380 can fly over your city, put in God knows what emissions of aviation fuel all over your city, where it spreads out a lot further than mileage, and you're now telling me that that's not allowed. Behave yourself, mate. I'm not going to line your pockets. Do one. I'm all for reform, but it's too late. Being a joke for years. I mean, yeah, you are very right. It probably is too little, too late, guys. This green screen's annoying the hell out of me. So we are good. We are going to lose it. I'm sorry, I'm sorry to say. It's annoying me. Oh, remember, like and subscribe to LindenTV, LindenTV 2023. And if you want to give a cheeky donation, that's always appreciated. But for now, night, and see you all soon. Braden, I appreciate it, man. Have a great day tomorrow. Take it easy, mate. Be good. Even the TV license is a piss take. You are absolutely correct. You're not wrong at all. I completely agree with you on that one, which is why none of my TVs in my house are even connected to an aerial, even any form of streaming service in any way, shape, or form. Like, it's all done either through Netflix or online. So why should I pay for a TV license? No. One Fiesta car from 1979 pollutes the same amount as 75 new ones. They think we're stupid. I mean, exactly. This is the point, right? But even like the Tesla, yeah, they'll go, "Oh, I'm saving the environment and the country by driving a Tesla." No, you're not. No, you're not. Because do you realize how many batteries your Tesla's got? How much lithium ion is in those batteries, and how much pollution those batteries have made, like, are actually like created to make them in the first place. So to make one of those batteries has caused, like, I think it's the equivalent of like 55,000 miles worth of driving. That's one. If you got 12 batteries on that one car, like, you're talking about 300,000 miles, right, of pollution for one car. Look how many Teslas there are. You're probably talking like they're probably doing more pollution than anybody else in the world, to be perfectly frank with you. And everyone goes, "Oh, I'm an eco warrior. I'm saving the planet." Okay, Janet, if you're so keen on saving the world, I challenge you next time you go on holiday to get to the airport and request an electric plane. Good luck with that one, because one, if they've made one, good luck flying on it. Because I guarantee you now, if you found out your plane was electric, you wouldn't fly on it, would you? No. So fuck off with your electric cars. Honestly. Thing about pollution, all countries need to agree. China and India aren't and don't give a. Yeah. The UK can't save world pollution. They stupid. I mean, this is the point. And this is why, obviously, Nigel Farage has turned around and said, he's not going to give a flying toot about net zero. He's going to do a major U-turn on that and go, "No, not doing that shit. Fuck off." Problem is, by the time the election comes around for him to get a chance to cancel net zero, dickhead Starmer would have already made sure that most people are driving around in electric cars. I ain't buying electric. I want to start my engine and actually hear it roaring. I want to hear my engine purr at me. Once, when it's working, and two, Like, if there's a problem with it, I can hear it. You know what I'm saying? If we went green, all of the UK would have no change in global warming, no effects at all. This is the point. We're a tiny little country, yeah. Like, let's face it. Can you really see America going net zero? Have a word with yourself. Can you see the Russians doing it? No. Like, the Australians, they may do, but I highly doubt it. Because again, the infrastructure is not there for us to have net zero. It's an absolute waste of time. If they want to be trying to be constructive, right, and have us away from like petrol and diesel, which ultimately is going to put a lot of people out of jobs that work in petrol stations, may I add, right? Why not go to hydrogen, where you still have to have like the hydrogen pump, for example, or like LPG? Use that instead. So you still have the LPG pumps and stuff at a now gas station. So people keep their jobs. Why are we going to put all these people out of jobs just because we're going to have charging ports everywhere? Well, they don't need people, do they? Like, what the fuck is he thinking? Honestly, it's crazy. We banned drilling and sourcing our own oil, but import billions from abroad. But the thing is, we still have oil rigs. They're still drilling for oil. So where's that going? You'll probably find it's going to the Middle East, sits there for God knows how long, then they sell it back to us. How does that work? Just take it out the fucking North Sea. It's there ready and waiting to go. You know what I'm saying? The micro rubber particles are more off electric car. They are heavier and they go on fire. There is nothing can be done. It needs to burn out. Don't forget the toxic fumes from burning lithium. But exactly. It's the point. Literally. So what are we doing? Yeah? I know we've gone completely off topic right now, guys, yeah? But it wires me. It annoys me. It pees me off. And yeah, I am starting my engine. I am turning the engine on because I'm getting cold, right? It's what? 13 degrees outside. Fucking freezing. And I'm sat here talking to you guys, right? At the end of the day, cool. Bit of pollution. But guess what? We've been having diesel fumes a lot worse. Like, look at back in the 80s and 90s, right? The catalytic converter didn't exist back then, did it? You know what I'm saying? So, didn't kill us then, did it? You know, we didn't find people walking around with like 13 heads and like 46 toes or nothing, did you? So, in all fairness, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, does Keir Starmer go around in an electric car? No. Does Sadiq Khan go around in an electric car? No. Why? Do the royal family, do they use electric cars? No. They still go around in horse and cart, yeah? Look how much, like, a horse shits when it's, like, pulling a cart, yeah? That's pure methane. More gases and stuff going into the air. But that's not a problem. Sorry, what? World heading to a cashless society. We are the herd. Are we, though? Because I won't be. Same with these stupid digital IDs, right? If they honestly think that I'm going to take a digital ID, bearing in mind Keir Starmer's now done a major U-turn by saying you only need digital ID if you're going to go for a new job. I've got my job. Like, I get paid for doing this shit. Why do I need digital ID for? But more the point, if my passport and my driving license are now not forms of ID, why do I need to use them to sign up for a digital ID? Because that's counterintuitive, isn't it? Fuck off, Starmer. Literally. No, think about the electric planes. Electric planes, what damage they will do. I don't think it'll ever happen, because I honestly do not think they're ever gonna get turns to fucking what's his face from Family Guy. I don't think we're ever gonna get enough power out of batteries to power an electric plane. Think how much they weigh, the distances they won't be able to travel. it'll be retarded. Literally. We can't stop it. Cash becomes worthless once it's cashless. Yeah, but if enough people then stop using cards and stop buying online and this sort of stuff, trust me, they'll have no choice. Keir Starmer doesn't use an electric car due to security. No worries. We'll all be okay with digital ID, alien invasion. I'm okay. You've got a digital ID. Dude, you're brave. You are brave. Like, nah, don't get one. Do not get digital ID, whatever you do, folks, for God's sake, please. Wasn't national insurance number a form of ID for work? Exactly, literally. But the thing is, this is what people don't understand with the digital ID, yeah? Once you sign up for that, they will then know what you're buying, how much meat you consume in a month, how much alcohol, how much you smoke, how much you drink, how much fuel you put in your car. They'll know where you're going, because of course they can then track you all around the country, but like where you're buying stuff from. They can cut you off. You're only allowed to withdraw up to £500 a month out of your account, yeah, like, or spend it on yourself. So you've got a £500 limit every month. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm not going to have some absolute dickhead turn around and tell me when I can and cannot fill up my car, what food I can eat, what meat I can buy, how much alcohol I consume, how many fags I can buy. I mean, luckily I go to my news agent and buy my fags, yeah. So of course, it comes up with differing amounts all the time, because I never buy the same quantity of cigarettes all the time, right? So literally, they wouldn't know. I'm going to the corner shop, I could be buying milk, or like 4 pints of milk. They'll never actually know exactly what I'm buying. You know what I'm saying? So in that respect, they may not be quite as clued up as they think they are. But they'll find a way. They can track everything. It wouldn't surprise me if there'll come a time where the UK government will start watching things like this to find out who's saying what about them. Let them. You'd be fucked when you have your when your phone gets stolen and cloned. Exactly. But also, it's been a prime example. Look at Heathrow Airport recently. The amount of problems they've had with their systems being hacked into, right? So, if people can hack into an airport, whether it's a security system, check-in system, or whatever, or even air traffic control, hack their systems, etc., right? If they can be hacked into, who's to say they're not going to hack into the government's like server or whatever and get everyone's details? So they're going to know where you live, what car you drive, how much money you earn a month, where your money comes from, where your money goes out to, like how many kids you've got, what your wife's called, your children are called, what your pet's called. They're going to know everything, your medical information. Now, I've got extensive medical like conditions and stuff, yeah. I don't want people knowing that shit. Like, my doctor knows it, so it's already on the NHS database, yeah. Why does dickhead Starmer need to know what's wrong with me? Why does he need to know why my heating maybe gets turned on like a month earlier because my house needs to stay at a constant temperature? What's it got to do with him? Fuck off. If I didn't have a daughter, I'd go off grid to another country. This country is shit. I agree, man. Literally. I went to the government to look after my budgie with digital ID. You can just they can just cut you off. No money, no NHS, nothing. Bunch of traitors. Literally true. Literally true. And this is what I've told everyone. Sign the petition that's online right now. Sign it. Like 3 million odd people have done already. And for the love of God, don't sign up for it. Don't go for it. Don't take it. Don't listen to their bullshit. Right? If that means like they go, oh, you can't access this or you can't make a claim for that. Cool. Don't let me make a claim for nothing then. But let me tell you this. It won't last. Imagine the country 20 years from now. Do you know, I hope I'm dead by that point. Because I don't want to imagine the country 20 years from now. It's bad enough as it is. But you also know that if they do try to do the whole, oh, you can't claim this, or you can't claim that, you can't do this, you can't do that, unless you've got digital ID. Well, people aren't going to trust their systems can't get hacked. They're not going to want their data being handed out to every Tom, Dick and Harry. And you and I, actually I'll build it. You and I both know there will be uproar. I mean, they think the protests are bad in London now, with their couple of thousand people that turned out to be like more close to like 1 million people who descended on the capital that day. Not the couple of thousand they thought it was. It was actually closer to 1 million people on that march against digital ID. Like, they think that was bad when it was a peaceful protest and no trouble happened. Just watch. If it does become a thing and he literally makes it happen, him and Tony Blair are going to want to go into a bunker together and be bum chums, put it this way, because I guarantee you the second either of them are seen out in public, they're dead. Like, there will be full-on civil war in this country, no doubt about it. Rocco, we need to fight for our country from these people. Mass multiculturalism does not work. We need to fight for our rights. The public do not give a crap about the UK. That's so true. I find peaceful protest pointless. Exactly. And if there's 1 million people, what are they going to do? Arrest everyone? And if they turn around and go, oh, if you've not got digital ID, we're going to put you in prison. Take me. Do you know what? Take me to prison. Because guess what? Free board and lodgings, free food, free heating, free electric, TV, no TV license, 3 meals a day. Bring it on. Bring it on. Why can't I see comments you're reading? Because you might be on, like, you might be on the filter for top comments only. So if you go to like your little cog thingy or your settings and go on there and go all messages, not just top messages, you should be a lot better off, because then everything on the chat will come through. But yeah, there will be a literal civil war if this digital ID thing becomes so mandatory. But even the other day he goes, oh yeah, it's a mandatory thing, but you don't have to have one. But it's not mandatory then, is it? Like, how can you force me to have something that I don't want? For example, COVID vaccinations. They tried forcing that on the nation. Did I take a COVID vaccine? No. Will I take one? No. Did my doctors keep trying to force them on me? Yeah. And what did I say to them? No. Union flag racist. Yeah, look how many police wear the thin blue line union flags. Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, I've done it, thanks. You're welcome, man. No worries at all. Yeah, always do that sort of thing, because for some reason YouTube does a default thing for just doing like top messages only, and it's the same for us as well. Like, as a creator, we do a live stream, the immediate setting is top messages. So like the first 4 or 5 people sometimes will come on and be like, boom, and then they message like 3 or 4 times and go, why are you not talking to me? And it's like, wrong setting, shit, sorry. It happens a lot, to be fair. It does happen a lot. So always a conscious effort to do that. But no, honestly, please guys, inform your friends and your family, your neighbours, your teachers, your fucking colleagues, whoever. Tell everyone, don't sign up for it. Because when he goes, digital IDs are now live, and no one signed up for it within the first 28 days, guess what they're going to do? The same thing they did back in early 2000s when they tried it and it didn't work and nobody signed up for it. They tried it then, it didn't work. They're trying it again now, and guess what? It still ain't going to work. So realistically, what's the fucking point? We don't need it. We don't need digital ID. Now, if it's a digital ID where it wasn't mandatory, like they have in Australia, for example. Sound. Sweet. Cool. I might get one then. If it had, like, I don't know, your NHS number, driving license, passport. Cool. Why does it need to be linked to my bank account? Why do they need to know where I'm living, how much I'm driving, what my carbon footprint is? Now, I'm not being funny. Carbon footprint, that's another one. If you're an airline pilot or work in, like, the travel sector in any way, shape or form, so if you're a pilot, let's go for a pilot, yeah? First of all, you've got to wash your uniform. That's using your carbon footprint. You've then got to drive to the airport, get on the staff shuttle from whatever part of the airport you're at to then get to the terminal. Then get across the terminal, so then you're using your carbon footprint and walking. Then get on your plane, fly to wherever it is you're supposed to be going in the world, and then come back again. Now, bearing in mind, under the digital ID system, you're only allowed to leave the country 4 times a year before it flags up to them that you're, like, an excessive user. So if you're a pilot, you can only fly 5 times a year. That's going to work, isn't it? Me and my family don't like the government or the corrupt police officers and won't sign up for shit. Go on, lad. Blair's son owns the company that's for the ID. Now, I wonder why that could be. Oh, yeah. Because it's all fucking Tony Blair's little, like, love child. Have a guess how much he will make, bearing in mind he's a millionaire 100 times over. Exactly. 100 billion they reckon he will make for the digital ID. It's disgusting, isn't it? Disgusting. You know? And it's his fucking father's bloody, like, God, it's his father's dream. Absolutely crazy. It is the COVID passports all over again. You're not wrong. You know, look how many people have had their COVID vaccinations and are now suddenly dying from, like, heart issues or heart attacks, heart failure, etc., etc., etc. We're seeing a recurring issue. People are having them, dying from cardiac arrests far, far earlier. Yeah? I've not had my COVID vaccine. I didn't take any of... Well, no, I've not had a single one. And I refuse to. And I continue to refuse to. So, it's absolute bullshit. Starmer said they will be free. Yeah, they'll be free for us. But the actual company that makes them will make a lot of money. Right, can you see my comments now? I can see your comments, babe, yes. I never had one injection, and neither did I. Neither did I, and I flatly refuse to. This whole time, my comments haven't showed. That is mad. Have you had a different setting on, though? Because that could do it as well. Because you ain't been timed out or nothing, so that's really mad. But yes, you are now very much visible. You are very much visible, babe, don't worry. Yeah. Absolute crazy. Literally crazy. And I'm not being funny. Like, Tony Blair can go, well, he can go suck whatever he wants as far as I'm concerned, because I'm not signing up to his bullshit. Not a chance. Not gonna happen. You know? Do one. How can they be free? He is a bell. The man is yeah, he is completely. So they're free for us, but I believe the government has to pay the company that's making them a shed ton of money just to enforce it all and make everyone have one, which is literally ridiculous. And quite frankly, it's just bullshit. Like, I can't think of anyone that's going to take a digital ID. You know, like, if it comes to it, oh, you can't leave the country without one. I'm sorry, Mr. Starmer. I can't leave the country without one, no. Well, I'm sorry, but I will continue to use my little red book until it runs out in 2029. Don't like it? Go suck your mum, because it's still valid, and it's got a valid from and a valid to date. So therefore, it can't be denied as being valid ID. If you don't like it, my friend, go swivel. go suck something, and frankly, go jump down a well. Because quite frankly, that's all you're useful for. And if you are watching this, Mr. Starmer, I strongly recommend you take a long, hard look at yourself and decide what's really important in this world. Maybe sorting things like homelessness. Let's sort out our own people before we start allowing people to come over on boats that don't need to be here, that don't deserve to be here. In fact, let's do one better than that. Let's go to places like the City of London, Waterloo train station, Waterloo Bridge, all the way along the South Bank. Let's help out our homeless people. Let's put them in five-star hotels with 3 meals a day, a brand new phone, access to money. Let's give them somewhere nice and warm to stay and tell all these little bastards coming over on these bloody boats that you are very happy to allow in, by the way, tell them to fuck off and let our homeless people sleep in these hotels. Then we'll see how it goes, shall we? And if you guys agree with me, smash the crap out of that emoji button in the bottom right hand corner. If you disagree with me, just put that middle finger emoji. Let's see which one wins. But they don't tell you how you're protected if your phone is stolen, cloned, data breach. Jeez, don't get me on the boat, haha. Be careful, you'll incriminate yourself. Starmer will lock you up for freedom of speech. Let him, because my ancestors died in World War One and Two for my freedom of speech. Like I used to be proud to be a Londoner. I used to be proud to be British. Do you know what I'm proud of nowadays? Hating the Labour Party. Um, they are not fleeing war-torn countries. They are fleeing. Yeah, exactly. And this is what annoys me, right? If you are a refugee, you are supposed to settle in the first safe country you arrive in. Now, if you're coming from like Arab states, for example, which aren't at war, may I add, if they're coming from there, they pass through about 7 or 8 different countries before they come to an island. Emphasis there, ladies and gents, on the word island. Okay? Because that's what we are. An island. We are surrounded by this thing called, oh yeah, water. Because they ain't coming through the Channel Tunnel, are they? Like, they're not that brave to go, oh, my boat's been slashed. I'll go and walk down the train track. Fucking try it. Because as that Eurostar train comes flying through at God knows 160 odd mile an hour, I'd like to see you jump out the way of that motherfucker. Because I guarantee you'll be strawberry sauce over the front of that before you can say Jack Robinson. Right? Gird over yourself. Don't keep coming here. Piss off. Keir Starmer might be your friend. We're not. Ta-da. Literally. Should have put Navy in the channel and took them back. I said before, it's too late. It is too late. They're here and breeding, taking all the social housing. They are. I mean, I can't say enough all to be fair, mate, because I myself live in a council house, right? And I'm quite proud to have a council house. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Obviously, when I start making, well, if I do start making decent money through the good old YouTube, guess what? I will go and buy myself the house that I want. But for the time being, I'm in a council house. Please don't judge me, but we do, right? At the end of the day, we don't need to be going our houses. And this is probably why they keep building so many houses everywhere. For them, no. Sorry. They want to come live here, they can build their own houses. And then connect them up to the as and when they like to. If they electrocute themselves and die in the process of connecting themselves to the national grid, that's on them. Make them build their own house. Yeah? Fuck them. Who cares? And Den says, I am proud to be British and English. Don't let anyone make you feel ashamed to be proud from where you are. Hang on. From where you were born. Never. I mean, I do agree with you, to be fair. But, like I said, I used to be proud to be British. But, like, so many countries hate us now. Why? Because of all this bullshit. Literally. Look at the trouble Brexit got us into. Like, that was ridiculous. I mean, we don't normally do government, like, political talk on this channel. But literally, it's a fucking joke. Yeah? Rocco says, Is Rocco? I'm guessing Rocco is your name. I can't afford to buy a house. I'm in social housing. Where will my daughter live? She won't get social housing, as they will be full with immigrants from war-torn countries. But they're not even from war-torn countries. They're just coming over willy-nilly now. You know what I mean? Den says, I live in a council house. My family home of my dad, who lives with me, was never able to buy here. They hate this country because of free speech. It's very true. Yeah. Do you know what? Like I said, I live in a council house. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm actually quite proud to have a council house, to be fair. Like, so what? At the end of the day, I bought it off dad. But there you go. Cool. At the end of the day, like, you get the chance to buy a council house. And you know what? I think just to be a spiteful prick, when I've did the mine long enough, I might do the same thing. I'll be like, yeah, do you know what? I will buy my council house. Because there's one less for them to go back and buy. And if I decide to then sell it like a few years later, I will do. And I don't give a shit. Because if they don't like it, I'll be like, well, cool. I'm not going to go buy another house. Fuck them. Oh, my name is Alex. My dog is called Rocco. My bad. Alex, lovely to meet you, my friend. I have a 9-month-old pit bull. Cute, dude. Love that one. Rocco's Modern Life. Love that one. Yo, Mr. Juicy Popsicle. How you doing, dude? #1 shit talker award goes to you, Ken. Liam, I love you, man. You're lucky. You're real lucky. I do. Ladies and gents, your other moderator, Mr. Liam. And I'm not talking shit. I'm actually talking truth, man. Literally. And I'm pretty sure these guys agree with me too. But honestly, 110%. We chat. We've spoken truth tonight. But Liam, how you doing, Mr. Juicy Popsicle himself? How are you, man? By the way, guys, if you guys like watching like Rocket League videos or like gaming videos, make sure you check out Mr. Juicy Popsicle 23. His channel is very, very funny, very, very good, and yeah, you will not be in any way upset. Go subscribe to him. You guys got Image, ain't got a clue what you're on about though. We're discussing immigrants, refugees, digital IDs, and how shit the country is. We're having a guess. It's quite good fun to be fair. Den says, Idle Pitbull, softest dog I ever had. He passed away nearly 15. All he took all my frustration in my early 20s and asked for nothing. I mean, pit bulls are absolutely incredible dogs. Pit bulls aren't illegal here, so I have to say he's a savage. Hang on, pit bulls aren't illegal here. Oh, are illegal here, so I have to say he's a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Mad, isn't it? Funny enough, it looked like yours, a blue brindle. Cute. Yeah, no, I got that one, man. It's all good. Oh yeah, fuck 'em. More bad than good. The bad outweighs the good, in my opinion. Literally true, man. It is so true. Like, this is what we're saying. At the end of the day, like, we should not have to be living in a society where we're having to look over our shoulders and all this kind of malarkey. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have the ability to have, like, the safety to walk down the street. Not have to look over your shoulder. Not have to be constantly worrying about what you're talking about because somebody might take offence. Well, guess what? If you're taking offence, take the fucking gatepost instead, because one, it will save you a lot of flipping hassle, and it leaves my fence in very, very, very strong working order. So leave my fence alone. Stop taking offence and just take the fucking gatepost. That can be easily replaced. All right. Don't like it? Get back on your boat and fuck off back to where you came from. Simple. We're all sorry to hear the loss of the doggy. Losing a pet is tough, man. It always is. 100%. Mine was a cross Irish Staff and a pit bull. There are no bad dogs, only bad owners. That is incredibly true. Incredibly true. That poor woman got stabbed on a train for no reason. Makes me mad. Yeah, but look what happened in bloody Huntingdon. Yeah, literally Huntingdon at the weekend. 10 or 11 people stabbed on a train by a Muslim who was of British origin. And this is the other thing as well, right? Since when do people that are born in this country end up being referred to on the news as a British national? Sorry, what? A British national. If you're born here, you're a British person or a British citizen. Where's this British national shit come from? When did that become a thing? Like they were saying about this thing at Huntingdon. Oh yeah, both men were British nationals. They were born and bred here. Well, they're born and bred here. They're fucking British, then, aren't they? Like, if you're a British national, that means you've like lived here for so many years and you've actually like nationalised as living in this country. If you're born here, you're a British citizen. When did that become a fucking part of conversation? Sorry, what? But that Huntington thing was outrageous, literally outrageous. Still can't believe that happened. Have you had any super chats yet? Not today, mate. No, but yeah, we have had them in the past, my friend, and we have members as well, which is always good. Don't forget, guys, you can send super chats, super likes, and super stickers just by pushing that little dollar symbol right there in the bottom corner. Just down there. I have now 3 sisters, pug crossed with a big Yorkshire Terriers. 2 are a bag of nerves, but they have been so amazing. They were about 3 months when I got them, and I had them a year so far. That's really cute. Dwayne, hello, my friend. Um, as long as you're a patriot, we good Americans will support you. We are looking to see the UK free again. This is brought to you from the communist free UK. I appreciate you, Dwayne. Absolutely appreciate you, man. Literally. Because I'm not being funny. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the person in charge of our country right now is 1000% a dictator. I don't care what anyone says. The power's gone to his head and he's gone, this is what we're doing, whether you like it or not, blah, blah, blah. I'm saying this to you right now, mate. Fuck you. Um, I've got my pit bull 8 weeks old. He's massive now. Oh, I bet he's cute though, isn't he? I'll tell you what, it's probably the most lovable, friendly dog you're ever likely to meet. Yeah, because not being funny, like you told me it's a pit bull. If I met you in Manchester walking down the street, right, I'd see it and be like, yo. And I guarantee you it'd be the friendliest thing going. Like, it'd be happy, it'd be like going for it and just be like playful, like most dogs should be. Nothing wrong with a playful dog. I guarantee it's like a gentle giant. 100%. Laid here fast asleep next to me now. There you go then. You know. And we mentioned his name about God knows how many times. I don't know what you're watching us on. Maybe you're watching on TV, mobile, tablet, or whatever. But I guarantee you go, Rocco, and he's like, fuck off. I don't know who you are. Piss off. I love how patriotic the Americans are. Yet we are embarrassed by our history. We ended slavery. How many sailors died to free men and women and kids? Exactly. This is the thing, right? We did abolish slavery. And yeah, I do understand why people hate us. Purely because, like, let's face it, at one point, we did own a lot of the globe. Yeah? But that was all part of the British Empire. And slowly but surely, we've handed them their countries back. Done. Um, Yep, I trained my dog. He had a great temperament around other dogs and people. There you go then. Dwayne says, I've been subscribed to your channel for some time now. I appreciate you, dude. What a legend. And Juicy, about 4 sailors, probably. More than that, mate. Try a couple of thousand sailors died over the years, saving people. But there we go. Um, it is mad. It's absolute. It's crazy. At the end of the day, like, but what also gets me, right? I'm surprised they've not banned bonfire night in this country yet. Because you think about it, every fifth of November, we celebrate Guy Fawkes Night. Yeah, which is literally like celebrating and remembering the first ever terrorist attack on this country. Can you imagine if we had bonfire night for every time there's been a terrorist attack on this country since? So how come one with Guy Fawkes way back when was fine, but um new ones like everyone goes, what? Because they're going to blow up the government? Well, maybe we should bring Guy Fawkes back from the dead and go, right, do you want to go try it again, mate, and be successful this time? You know what I'm saying? Some sailors probably died by hit. Juicy popsicle is fucking sea turbines. For those of you who don't know what a sea turbine is, just go down to the coast. You'll see thousands. Trust me. Most public bonfire displays have been cancelled for some years. Yeah, but it's crazy. Like, you know, I just don't get it. It's just mad how it's okay to remember something that happened against the government, but then the government won't cancel something because, oh yeah, guess what? It makes some money because they can tax it. Funny that, isn't it? Funny how they didn't get done for like polluting the earth and all this sort of stuff. The amount of shit they put up in the flipping atmosphere. But there we go. Um, Dwayne says, I feel the UK and the States are cousins. Look, we've always had a special relationship. And I will give, as much as a lot of us here do not like Donald Trump, yeah. Um, what he said about Sadiq Khan being a horrible man, a terrible mayor, and all this sort of malarkey, and then to have Keir Starmer turn around and go, ha ha ha, that's my friend. Fuck off, dickhead. Like, you're supposed to have a special relationship with the most powerful man in the world, and you're saying a man he doesn't like is your friend. Are you fucking stupid? Get a grip, you absolute jebend. Um, we gave the railway to the world. Actually, yeah, Liverpool did. You're not wrong. Um, when it's Eid, the council put up posters up in the bus stops saying Happy Eid. Again, it just makes no sense, does it? Sometimes I put my tongue out the window to taste freedom, but then I step outside and I forgot my socks and go back inside and feel trapped. Sorry, what? Sometimes I put my tongue out the window to taste freedom, but then I step outside and I forgot my socks. So go back inside and feel trapped. Well then don't forget your socks, mate. Put them on first thing in the morning. You're sorted, aren't you? Um, the Brits have a hell of a lot to be proud of. Some stuff we done, the Americans tweaked it and made it better, and some stuff Americans done and we tweaked it and made it better, and it's a win-win for us both. I mean, let's face it, right? I'm not being funny. Yeah, we make a lot of stuff in this country, and there's also a lot of stuff that we've given to America that they've made worse. Their language being one of them. Because especially when you get like Americans that turn around and go, "Oh, can you say bottle of water?" Because apparently that's the only thing we say over here in the UK is bottle of water. Or like they'll ask you how you spell certain words and then go, "Oh no, you spelled that wrong." No, I spelled that the right way. You guys spelt it the wrong way. For example, aluminium. Let's not even get started on that one. Won't be long before pork is banned in this country. Girls already being told they can't wear skirts to school. I wonder why. Yeah, you know why, don't you? Because they're trying to bring in Sharia law. Sorry, what? Last time I checked, I thought this was called like the United Kingdom, England, and Great Britain. Make the UK great again. Do you know what, GC? Or Liam, sorry, I think we need to start our own political party. Yeah, we need to start our own political party and go up against Keir Starmer because something's got to give. Someone needs to get that absolute bellend out of power. Yesterday in New York City, the people elected a open communist mayor for the first time in history. Was that a good thing or a bad thing to do? I'm not too sure. In the 90s, you'll what? In the 90s, you'll look to get two non-English per class. Now it's over half per class. That is very true. That is very true. Like that guy in Germany. We do know. We need to start our own political party, I think, and I think we could do it. I don't know how. Might have to look into that. But it's true. Like when I was at school, like you didn't see very many like non English people in the school. I think we had like I don't know 8, maybe 9 in our year. Like and then yeah, put it this way: out of 1,000 people in my school, I think like 98% were English. Nowadays, it's probably a lot less than that. I mean, even talking to my nephew or my niece, like about their school days and stuff, the names they come out with now, you're like, sorry, what? And oh yeah, they're called this, and I'm like, well, they're not English, are they? Oh no, they're born here. They're not fucking English, though, are they? Ridiculous. Um, we can be like that certain guy from Germany without the mass extinction. He wasn't actually from Germany though. Um, he was actually Austrian, believe it or not. But I know exactly who you mean. In my nephew's school, he has 2 teachers that have transitioned and a little boy aged 9 wearing a skirt to school. What's happening, man? Do you know what? Like a couple of years ago, I had like I suppose you can call it a stepchild, right? And he came home one day and was talking to my partner, saying like that. Bear in mind, he was 6 years old, and they were being taught about gender neutrality. And I'm like, what? He was like, oh yeah, like we got taught about being gender neutral or something. And I was like, what does that mean? And he goes, I don't know, I wasn't listening. I'm like, good. Carry on not listening. Because no way is that gonna happen. Like, sorry, what? You know what I mean? Like my niece was saying, somebody in her school was like goes into school as a furry every day. I'm like, are you joking? Like a 13-year-old child going into school as a furry. What? No. Rock, Alex, you're not wrong. It is a joke, mate. Absolutely true. Um, God bless the UK patriots and YouTubers that spread the truth to other countries that don't get the truth about the situation in the UK. Absolutely true. He, she, they, them, where, when, gender blend. Cheers, Liam. Appreciate you, dude. Love that, mate. They allow children to identify as cats and planes. It's crazy. I mean, identifying as a plane, I think that's quite cool. To be honest, I like that guy's aiming high. Like he's literally going places. Going places. That's a company you don't hear about anymore. Um, but literally, like, why? Why are we teaching kids it's all right to like be anything other than what they're born? All these people now, like especially like probably towards the end of like Gen Z, for example, that are now having children and having like gender reveals and all this sort of shit. What's the point? Why are you doing a gender reveal for a child? Because you can guarantee in about 15 years' time it's going to turn around and go, Mummy, I'm a frog. You're a dickhead. Fucking do one. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. To be honest, my hands are bisexual. Anyone can get them. Liam, what the hell are you drinking, man? running up and down the avenue making plane noises. I mean, come on, that'd be pretty sick. There, my boy Rocco in my avatar. Mm. He's cute. Oh, that's a cute dog. I like that. Like that a lot. Very nice. Very nice. But no, literally, the country has gone to shit, folks. Honestly. And I know for a fact one of your moderators, when this live gets uploaded, he's gonna message me and be like, "What the fuck were you talking about last night, man?" And I was like, "We just had the conversation just went that way, mate. Like, you should have joined the live stream." Ironically, it does actually turn around in the description and say no political speech in the comments, please. But hey, it's gone that way. But there we go. Completely gone against our rules in the description. But hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Um, but no, literally, it's all gone to shit. Absolutely gone to shit. And we need to do something very, very quick. Very, 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 very quickly. Very cute, Will. Um, is the face two colours? It looks that way, to be fair. Yeah, does it very docile. Very docile and very cute. Both your dogs do, to be fair. There you are. I'll have to do a LindenTV Northwest special. So I have to come up to the Northwest and have like a, I don't know, a dog meet, for example. Could be quite cool. I would be jumping on roofs, shouting ribbit, and bouncing off into the night, never to be seen again until a foggy night, and there's enough humidity in the air for Frog Boy to save the day from he she. Nice. Cheers, Liam. Appreciate it, man. Oh fuck, that's funny. I don't mind anyone, gay, straight, bi, even if they want to change their sex. Ain't got nothing to do with me as long as they're happy. Um, I mean it's true. Like I've always said, right? I don't care what you do behind closed doors. Yeah, whether you're gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, pansexual, fucking trisexual, whatever fucking sexual you are, right? I don't care if you're black, white, orange, indigo, pink, a luminous green, or whatever, right? Treat me with respect. I'll treat the same back at you, right? Treat me like a dickhead, and I'll do the same back to you. Treat others how you want to be treated, right? I don't care what happens behind closed doors. Like you said, I don't care if you're gay, straight, lesbian, whatever. Yeah, you are what you are. Simple. As long as you're not pushing on other people, forcing people to have the same mentality or thought process as you, or whatever else. Cool. Happy days. But the second you try and change people or try and force your ideas onto other people, like vegans, for example, they're the worst ones for that. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, let's face it, vegans will not kill anything except a conversation. Yeah, simple. Um, but yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So, but yeah, Denso says, yeah, Rocco, he was blue and white. That is so cute. See, you can change your identity, but you can't change your gender. Whatever floats your boat. Keep it out of school though. Make your own decisions when you turn adult. I completely agree with you. I think as you get older, you become more liberal. Absolutely. And oh, bless, he's gorgeous. He is. But no, honestly, vegans are the only group of people I think I really do strongly disagree with because they try and force you into being a vegan. And like, it's the absolute knobheads that go, "Oh, you can't drink milk because an animal's had to die to have that." Sorry, what? Last time I checked, cows go into a milking shed to get milked. They don't get slaughtered and then go, oh, "We'll take your milk now, thank you very much." You know. Um. So literally, it is true. A vegan will not kill anything except for a conversation, and they'll always be like, oh, "I'm vegan," and you're all sat there going, "No one fucking asked, but all right then, cool." Block. Tell her, like, if ever I see a vegan in a group chat, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm blocking you. Fuck off." Tell her. Cows get milked aggressively for about 6 hours, I think. Dude, they're in there for about an hour and 40 minutes. And it's not aggressively, is it? It's just some poor bloke pulling. I'll change him now for my girls. For the record, I am not changing the sex of my dog. Good to hear it. Human body needs consumption of meat, otherwise you grow to be weak. And I love that. Sign me up. What, you want to be aggressively milked for 6 hours, do you? Cool. I know where you live. I'll be there. I'll be there in about half an hour. No, less than that. In about 10 minutes. There we go. He'll be panicking now, going, "Are you actually going to my house?" Here you go. Might need a microscope. Oh, they are cute though. Oh, that is cute. They're forced to have milk though, even though their calves are like 6 years old. Well, yeah, because that's why they're still alive. That's why they're still on the farm. That's why they get to eat every day, purely because to make milk for us. I've got to get off the stream now, but I hope all of my UK cousins have a good night. All the best from Tennessee. Dwayne, respect you, man. Take care. Look after yourself. See you again soon. Right, but folks, I'm afraid to say we have now been live for the last 2.5 hours of my life, and it's 3:31 in the morning, which means one thing and one thing only. It is time for this show to end. To those who joined for the very first time this evening, thank you very much indeed for being here. No cows, once they have a calf, they will always produce milk. A bit like a chicken will lay eggs after its first fertility. I didn't know that, to be fair. Yeah, but it's surely not pure milk anymore. It's like water and blood and tiny vegans. Liam, where your mind goes to scares the life out of me. See you, Rocco, and everyone. Nice chatting to you all. Stay blessed, and we will speak again on the next live. Absolutely. We'll be back again, ladies and gents, on Friday night, right here. Yeah, milk will have pus in it. Oh, lovely. But not Puss in Boots, though. We will be back, ladies and gents, with you guys live right here on LindenTV, 9 p.m. on Friday. From me to you, enjoy the rest of your night. Have a wicked Thursday. And remember, LindenTV. Miss it, miss out.